so well. I saw this, I saw that.
Keep me on your mind, 'cause I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way. Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on the way. Yeah. I'm on the way. On the way. Yeah. On the way. I'm on the way. I'm on the way.
The Falcon Azenis RT660 is the enthusiast choice for ultra-high performance. Engineered for predictable handling and stability, the RT660 provides maximum traction both on and off the track. Your competitive edge has arrived with the Falcon Azenis RT660.
Formula Drift is brought to you by Toyota, let's go places. Royal Purple, the official engine oil of Formula Drift, the synthetic expert. Rockstar, the official energy drink of Formula Drift.
The feeling of drifting a car sideways, it is the ultimate form of car control.
It's the calm before the storm, and it's about to go down. It's going to be a dogfight.
And clean start, here we go.
You take that breath and you kind of hold it for one split second. And then let's go, let's do this.
I think what the judges want is an all-out battle every single time.
since I've been doing this for so long and I haven't won a championship. I've come close multiple times. You just got to do one event at a time, one day at a time. But do I want to? No.
Are you ready to send it?
That look on this face right there, that's game time. I'm going to try to take it all.
Look at that, Osbo. You can't count anybody out. Oh my goodness, holy banana cakes.
Oh my goodness, this will give you massive anxiety.
Jesus Christ, stack up my blood flowing.
It's time to turn it up. We need to stay within striking distance of this championship.
I've won the championship twice now, 2015 and 2021. Going back to back will put me in a very elite club. I think we can do it.
Look at that. Wow, look at this backdrop. It's a brand new venue, and welcome to Utah Motorsports Campus. We are elevated in more ways than one. Welcome to a brand new venue for the Formula Drift history books. We are seeing some of the highest speeds, the highest speeds. We're seeing triple digits on entry. This track is flowy, and guess what? It's all showy. We are about to see the action unfold here. We're talking about pro qualifying today, going into the Link Engine Management Pro Spec Championship. This is the final round of that, but this is round 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Qualifying is going down in just moments. So, Utah Motorsports Campus, this is Elevated, presented by Type S. I'm Jared Dienda. Joining me again, this is the 7th stop of 8. So we can see that right there. We have already been to Long Beach, Atlanta, Orlando, E-Town, St. Louis, Monroe, Washington. Here we are just outside Salt Lake City, Utah Motorsports Campus, and it all culminates round 8. The House of Drift, Irwindale, California. But Matt Field, he hasn't won an event yet. But guess what? He leads the championship. The Falcon Tires, Drift K, Borla exhaust. This gentleman, he's feeling the heat wave. You know what? All things considered, the sun is kind of baking down right now. But look at, oh my gosh, so cool, so calm, so collected. Frederick Osbo, he is on the tail of that gentleman. We saw an amazing battle in Seattle. Love to say that. It just rolls off the tongue. And then, of course, Ryan Turk. Ryan Turk is in the hunt in that Rain-X Toyota GR Toyota Corolla that is out for the hunt. He won at round 1, the debut of the first ever Toyota GR Corolla, and he is in the hunt for the championship. But I'm telling you what, Matt Field, he has the target on the back. The field is the field that is behind him. That's who is gunning and running as we see Chris the Force Forsberg in his all-new Nissan Z, the NOS Energy Drink, Nissan Z GT radial tires. He is going for it. But again, Falcon, Nitto, and then of course, you can't count him out, Chelsea Denofa and his Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5, the all-new 7th Gen Mustang being debuted last night. Well, right now it's all about that 6th Gen and the generation that is Chelsea Denofa. His bumper budget out the window, but so is his driving style. He is going for it. He's pushing for it. He wants to win a championship. The RTR camp, there are your current leaders. coming into round 7 of 8 of the overall Formula Drift Championship. Matt Field leads the pack with 509. Keep in mind, 100 points for the win. Frederick Osbo, he's back there a considerable amount. That's 59 points. Ryan Turk, not too far back from second. Chris Forsberg, Chelsea Nova, that's how it lays out. So 100 points for the win. 2 rounds left as we go into qualifying at a brand new track. So that right there in itself is the deal breaker. You have to take into consideration, there's no data, there's no knowledge, there's no precondition of this track as we just warm things up. Those are the competition points at stake. You can see 100 points for the win, 91 for second, as we, again, just about to kick things off here for qualifying. And we are about to see, we start from the top, work our way to the bottom. We saw the Link Engine Management Pro Spec Championship qualifying earlier today. I'm Jared Deanna. Joining me in the booth here in just a moment is Ryan Lontaine. And I apologize just not making it here for Pro Spec Championship, but regardless, we are talking all things from here on out, Pro Spec and Pro through the entirety of the weekend. We have an action-packed weekend for you at a brand new venue. You can see this backdrop here, a fairly flat track, not a lot of elevation changes like Atlanta, but I'll tell you what, we are hitting triple digits on entry. Looks like Mike Power coming in and initiating. Again, just warming things up. So what we were initially intended to begin qualifying, but unfortunately a vehicle had a little accident on track. So some oil hit the track. So we are giving the drivers a considerable amount of time, and it looks like we are seeing that of about 15 minutes from the initial when we're about to see them. So we're gonna continue with practice, kind of lay out here. Ryan Lontaine joining me here in the booth. What are your expectations for this unique track? Let's slide over here a little bit. It's hot. We're baking right now, but the high speeds. What are your expectations?
Well, what I love about this track is the consistency in speed. We don't have a big slowdown on the track, so drivers are able to maintain a high rate of speed throughout the entire course. We're seeing over 100-mile-per-hour initiations, and of course the speed is dropping as they get through the tighter portions, but there's no big aggressive decel, and that's allowing, I think, the tandem the drivers, even in practice right now, to stay close and put on a good show even in just a practice scenario right now. So, do
you feel like it's a bit of a drag race? I mean, coming into that initiation, are you seeing close proximity, or is it just kind of an arm wrestling match and somebody's going to overpower each other?
It feels like this track is going to be good for tandem because there is no real drag race scenario. Once you get the car to angle at inside clip 1, you're going to be on the throttle, and it's going to be pretty consistent throughout the track. So I believe what really hurts us in some scenarios is the big aggressive decel, and then the cars that have more grip and more power are able to dig out of that slow area and lose chase cars sometimes. But here, because it's more consistent, it is leading to even good practice in tandem. So hopefully that kind of travels into the competition side of things as well.
Walk us through, this is a good opportunity. You got the inside clip, outside zone, going into the outside zone once again. So it's kind of inside, outside, outside, inside, outside. Yeah. I said that very quickly, but this is a good opportunity to look at three-time Formula Drift champion and his all-new Nissan Z, that is the NOS Energy Drink Z of Chris Forsberg. We'll rack it back up. This is practice right now. This is not qualifying. We extended practice a little bit here because unfortunately one of the vehicles kind of, had a little accident on the track. So we'll just leave it at that. So we extended practice a little bit, rightfully so. So, this is we're seeing what I'm seeing about 37 vehicles, I believe, if again looking at the drivers list. But break down what they're looking at here so we can get into it.
Yeah, so we should be looking at Rome here. As he leaves the line, we'll be able to see that acceleration up to initiation is, I believe, about the same length as we have in Road Atlanta. Instead of a downhill that we have in Road Atlanta here, it's slightly uphill into that first corner. So the speeds are very similar, though. We're seeing just over 100 miles per hour as we get into the later part of practice here for pros. It started off a little bit lower, but they're definitely working that speed up. And here we go. So Rome's going to get through the chicane. As he drives up to initiation, here he comes, and you can see the speed in the bottom left. So there you go, see 100 miles per hour bottom left. He hit that inside clip marker right there. Outside zone, driver's right. Driver left, you've got outside zone 2. Inner clip 2 is on the track surface right there. You can see as he just went by it. And then as he transitions, he's going to go to outside zone 3. Want that right rear tire on the edge of the track all the way around outside zone number 3. And of course, we have the drone there that's going to give us some great footage as well.
And you can see the finish line there denoted by obviously the larger cones and that finish line. That is not the finish line, obviously way previously before that. You know, I'm really excited about this. A lot of anticipation building up to this course. A brand new track, no data.
Yep.
And just kind of, you know, just going for
fresh.
it. Everybody's fresh. And that's really interesting coming into this round. You know, here's Chelsea Dernofa, who's in contention. I mean, mind you, he's just shy of 100 points for the championship overall, but would love to get a top 3 finish. I mean, all things considered, you know, he has 4 very talented drivers ahead of him. But regardless, he would still like to get a top 3 finish. But data, what do you think is going through the driver's mind right now?
Well, they don't have a whole lot of
look at the speeds here.
So let's
look at the speeds.
I love this little picture. That's 104.
104 at angle. 104 at angle.
104 miles per hour into that first corner, which I think slows down to probably the 75-mile-an-hour range. And then as they come through the rest of the course, it's throttle, throttle, throttle. You can see Chelsea here throwing in some big angle. Huge through outside zone 3. So the speed, we have to bring this up. We're not judging the speed. The speed is strictly to see
sensationalism.
What kind of speeds. Exactly.
It's like a, whoa, are you kidding me? That's how fast it is. That is not a unit of measure.
Exactly. We're just looking at the speed to say it's great. Here's the track map with all the sectors. You can see we have 5 sectors at this track. Inside clip 1 is sector 1. Outside zone 1 is sector 2. Then you've got outside zone 2 and sector 3. Inside clip 2 in that 4th sector, and the 5th sector is outside zone 3. So the nice thing about sectors is we don't have to score strictly at the point of the inside clip or the outside zone. We can take off points for that inside clip too, let's say, in the entirety of that sector. That's the point of the sectors. So let's watch the speed for Osbo.
Again,
99.
Yeah, just shy of 100. But again, that is purely for sensationalism, excuse me. And obviously, these two gentlemen going for a championship, you know, Frederick Osbo has the target on his back, or the Rockstar on his back. Both these gentlemen rock stars and piloting the Rockstar energy drink vehicles. The Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla in tow, getting the victory at round 1. And Frederick Osbo. So here are the keys to victory. Here are K&N Performance Unlimited keys to victory. What are you looking for? What are you and the other 2 judges looking for, Ryan?
Yeah, in qualifying here, we need that quick and accurate initiation. We've been seeing that pretty consistently. So snapping the car to angle, but not over-rotating or under-rotating the car, keeping that angle through inside clip 1. That brings up the next point, tight on the inside clips. We know that inside clip 2 is in the track a little bit, where we have a white line painted around there that the drivers can't cross. So they need to get tight to the clip and not cross that. You want to get a midline from inside clip 2 until they transition for outside zone 3. We don't want them going over that white line and going too tight after the inside clip. We want room for the chase car. We want them to fill those zones fully, right? 1, 2, and 3. You need to get the tire all the way to the edge of the track and fill it from start to finish.
Maintaining pace.
All the way through the track, right?
I mean, it's really hard not to. I mean, given just the flow, the fluidity of the track, I mean, you have to do that. Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to check up a vehicle. But right now, we're in qualifying. You know, we're talking about line, we're talking about angle, we're talking about style. Also, it's independent. So it's where they rank, where they're at. I mean, what are your expectations? Because, you know,
high scores.
I know high scores, but overall, this is just such. It's kind of new. Obviously, it's new territory, but it's very exciting. Mm-hmm. In my eyes, you know. Again, I always say, my wife asks me, like, "Hey, you still excited about this?" Yeah, of course. You know, like I'm excited to see this. This is uncharted territory.
And
literally.
You've been asking me all season, what is my favorite round, and I keep saying I'm looking forward to Utah because it's the dark horse, right? Like, we have no idea what this track is going to be all about. So it's kind of interesting to be here now. And I'm expecting high scores because it's the type of track that is full throttle, a lot of commitment, and there isn't a lot of area for big errors.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of our drivers, being the top-level drivers that they are going to be able to put down some killer qualifying runs.
I love it. Thank you so much. Ryan Lontaine, not only just my co-host, but also a judge. So him, Chris Yule, and that of Brian Egger. Guess what? All that being said, it's elevated. That is this round. We've deemed this elevated here at round 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. When we come back, presented by Type S, round 7 qualifying begins. Don't go anywhere. Myself, Jared DeAndre, Ryan Latain, we are your tour guides. Again, we'll be right back.
Link is the engine management solution for champions the world over. We know what it takes to win. Pushing boundaries, performing under pressure, and having the best people on your team. Our tech support are performance specialists, available 24 hours and ready to talk one-on-one about your winning formula. Link ECU, the performance, reliability, and power to get to the podium.
How does one car going wild in the mall help us tell the GR story?
You're right.
We need more cars.
The Falcon Azenis RT660 is the enthusiast choice for ultra-high performance. Engineered for predictable handling and stability, the RT660 provides maximum traction both on and off the track. Your competitive edge has arrived with the Falcon Azenis RT660.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
When you have a lot of money tied up in your transmission and differential in your car, kind of like I do in this one, this is a must-have. Royal Purple Max Gear High Performance Gear Oil. Even under severe squeeze film conditions caused by sudden shock, extreme high loads, or low RPMs, Max Gear helps reduce bearing wear. I am pretty sure we put this to the test more than anybody else. Slippery, synthetic, and complete with Centerlick technology, Max Gear reduces wear and friction, which allows your gears to run smoother, quieter, cooler, and longer. Drift tested and ready for your gears. Royal Purple Max Gear.
Hey guys, I'm Nadine, the founder of Throttle, and on my journey to learn more about drifting, I thought I'd ask the one who's in the top spot this year, Matt Field. So Matt, you know, one of the most important things about drift setup is your alignment. So can you tell me a little bit about some tips and tricks? What should we do?
So a lot of people overlook a good wheel alignment. It's crazy how much they overlook it. They think, I buy a car, I bolt the suspension on, I look at it with my eyeball, and I go. And it's just, you can't be more wrong. There's so much left on the table, and you can literally have really great components, the parts, right? The best of the best. But if they're installed wrong and they're set up wrong, you might as well have the stock stuff on the car, right? So if you're going to get a car, I'll give a perfect example because this is a lot of people's first car. Okay. You have a 240 SX, an S13 and S14, right? It's a lot of people's first drift car. It was mine too. You get yourself some coilovers. You put some modified knuckles that your homie chopped in his backyard on there.
A Momo steering wheel.
Always a Momo steering wheel.
Always.
And you go out and you want to start drifting. I would recommend you give it as much camber as you possibly can. You'll probably get around 3 degrees negative camber. We're talking in the front. You want to set the toe to 0 or slightly out, depending if you're driving on the track or on the street. If you're driving on the street, give it 0. If you're driving on the track, give it a little bit of toe out. And the caster. The caster here is the most important. And every car is going to be different. And every type of suspension is going to be different. So I really suggest if you buy a certain brand, they'll have the recommended specs on there. Start there. But like on this 240 with these chopped knuckles and maybe some extended control arms, 7 to 7.5 degrees, and you're gonna be dialed in. The rear, try to zero it out, 0 camber, 0 toe, straight up and down so the tires last forever, and literally that'll be the best car you've ever driven.
Well, what do you do for your Corvette C6?
All right, give us the secret. I'm happy to share. With my Corvette, we run 5.5 degrees negative camber in the front. It's a lot more aggressive than a street car. We run 7.5 degrees caster, which is quite a bit, but we do that to compensate for how quick the Corvette transitions. It's a very quick, snappy car. And we run just a tiny bit of toe out, just a very little bit. And in the rear, slightly negative camber, more of a road race setup, and a lot of toe in. And just a little secret, you want to start going fast in a drift car, toe in the back, and that's like makes it into a rocket ship. But only if you got the power. You have to have the power.
Okay, and what is your car pushing? Come on.
My car makes 1,060 to the rear wheels and 900 foot-pounds of torque, so
yeah,
it can do a lot of toe.
Get there at first too. You guys heard it straight from Matt's mouth. He is #1 here in the Formula Drift season, so thanks very much for sharing that with us.
Thank you guys very much.
If anyone wants to learn more about you, where else can they go?
First of all, they can find me on the Throttle app, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But if you really want to get a direct line to me, hit me up on Instagram, and I'll answer all of your questions.
Fantastic. So thanks very much for watching, and keep on joining us at Throttle's Fueling Connections and Driving Experiences. Woo.
The feeling of drifting a car sideways, it is the ultimate form of car control.
It's the calm before the storm, and it's about to go down. It's going to be a dogfight.
And clean start, here we go.
You take that breath and you kind of hold it for 1 split second, and then let's go, let's do this.
I think what the judges want is an all-out battle every single time.
Since I've been doing this for so long and I haven't won a championship, I've come close multiple times. You just got to do one event at a time, one day at a time, but do I want to? No.
Are you ready to send it?
That look on this face right there, that's game time. I'm going to try to take it all.
Look at that, Osbo. You can't count anybody out. Oh my goodness, holy banana cakes.
Oh my goodness, this will give you massive anxiety.
Jesus Christ, back up my blood flowing.
It's time to turn it up. We need to stay within striking distance of this championship.
I've won the championship twice now, 2015 and 2021. Going back to back will put me in a very elite club. I think we can do it.
Look at that. My goodness, look at this backdrop. Such a picturesque backdrop. And man, thank you for joining us. Round 7 of what is called the Type S Elevated, presented by AutoZone. The qualifying is going down now. We saw our Link Engine Management Pro Spec qualifying earlier today. The highest elevation track, but also the highest MPH we've been seeing here today. There is our leaderboard. We're taking a look at, we will start from the top and we'll work our way down to the bottom. Matt Field currently leads the pack. Ryan, we're standing up. We are anticipating a high high viscosity in more ways than one. Not 10W30. I'm talking about we are sweaty and ready to party, baby, right?
It's warm and the track is hot.
Yeah.
And so are the cars, and we're ready to go.
Well, the track is cold currently. So if we're being technical, you could cross the track if you're media right now.
It's physically hot, though.
It is very physically hot.
Yeah.
What's interesting here about, have you seen or heard anything? Because I've announced rallycross at this event, and you see a big jump off in the distance here, Nitro Rallycross, but have you heard or seen anything in regards to cars and being at a higher elevation or anything like that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I have not, but I heard at, what was it, Pikes Peak Raceway recently that they had some issues there. Of course, it's higher than it is here.
Yeah, grid life.
Yeah, so definitely heard that they had problems there.
Yep.
But I haven't heard anything about anything today, but people don't generally talk to me about those things. So
Ryan Lontaine, you are one of the judges. You're going to be kind of in my ear, in all of the fans' ears, giving the feedback, giving the scrutinization. Yourself, Chris Yule, and Brian Eggert are 3 judges. We have some fans join us here. Do you guys even work? It's Thursday. You guys just hanging out here? Do you asked for the day off? Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I see him and his lady just chilling here on the grassy knoll, just kicking it and hanging out. Dude, high five. Don't leave him hanging. Oh, my. There we go. Thank you so much. All right, so who is going to put their name on this list? Of course, Matt Field would love to put his name on this list, but right now the star is literally on his back. Frederick Osbo going for that controlled chaos. Woo-wee, Rick. We are about to throw down, but we start from the top. We work our way to the bottom. We have our not so great 8. And the nerves, this is where you start thinking about, I mean, we say that about, dude, we're in Long Beach, Ryan. We're like, hey, let's talk about the championship. That's round 1, but here we are, round 7. This is where things really start to coagulate like Jello, right? I mean, this is where you're like, okay, what's coming together? What's really cracking? We have Irwindale, but I really do love just this, let's call it the wrench in the system, just meaning Utah, like a new track, new things. So what do you think is going through Matt Field's mind right now?
Well, he's probably not had a lot of laps, so
no,
I don't think so. So it's probably
there we go. Matt Field in that Falcon tires, of course. Drift Cave, Borla exhaust, Corvette comes into that first inside clip outside zone 1, 2. Now into that inside clip 1, tightening up. Man, I guess what? You know what? Is he nervous? He's not showing any signs of it right now. What a great way to start, baby! Look at that. Boom. I'll tell you what, those are some sweet ponies out of the gate. That's a great way to start and kick things off at our brand new debut of Utah Motorsports Campus. UMC for FD. Here we are. Let's take a look at it again here, Ryan.
So as Matt Field gets initiated, you can see the car flicks to angle nicely, but adds a little bit more angle there. You can see didn't quite get to the amount of angle he wanted. Great on in-clap 1, outside zone 1, and outside zone 2. Coming to in 2, he's off a little bit there. You can see that his front right tire wasn't in the box, so he's a little bit off there, and then he makes a mistake in outside zone 3. Watch his right rear tire. It dips in the dirt. You can see the car loses a bit of angle, and his car goes in off the right line a little bit there. So that is going to be tricky as they get their tires right on the edge of that pavement. They want to make sure they don't dip a tire into the gravel because something like that will happen.
And the sensationalism, like I said, we're adding the numbers on entry, but I'll let you kind of scrutinize this. Ryan, what your line judge here at this event, and Chris, you are currently angle judge, and then of course style judge is Brian Eggert. So what's interesting here is, Ryan, you were tasked very difficultly because the high speeds and where that car is placed. So just, I would say the replay really comes into, no pun intended, play, because slowing it down, seeing where the car's at, because this is the quickest track we've seen this year.
It is, yeah. You can't really blink here. You have to kind of keep your eyes glued to the track and make sure
don't blink.
Don't blink.
All right, there we go. So an 85 and 85. Look at that. Our number 1 qualifier, Matt Field. Our number 1 qualifier. Dad jokes, dad bod. All right, so again, Matt Field with an 85 gets that number 1 position, but Frederick Osbo is nipping at his heels. We talked about, just shy of 50 points behind our current leader, Fredrik Asbo, our defending champion, piloting that Rockstar Energy Toyota GR Supra on Nitto tires from Ski, Norway. Here we go, big, a lot of handbrake there, a lot of handbrake on initiation. You could perfectly read Nitto on that sidewall, coming to that second outside zone now. Okay, so again, you can see that inside clip. Now transitioning here, filling all of that box. I do like the approach there. Look how fluid. You know what? You know what's crazy here? I just had like a total flashback here. That looked like Rudskogen in Norway. That absolutely just looked like, I just had a flashback. I felt like we were at Gothbill, and that looked exactly like Rudskogen just overseeing. I felt like he was at home. You know what I'm talking about?
I remember Rudskogen. All right, so looking at outside zone 3 here, look at his tire right on that line, right on the edge of that track all the way around. So he's going to get a full score for that outside zone 3 on line. Now let's look at the other sectors as he comes through this track. As he initiates here, nice rate to angle. He gets the car to angle, and you can see not a lot of movement there once he gets to angle. He's off of inside clip 1 ever so slightly. Could have been a little bit deeper in zone 1. Hopefully we get the drone there for outside zone number 2. Perfect on inside clip number 1. That tire was right on the line. And then going to outside zone 3, like I said, perfect on outside zone 3. That line is gorgeous from start to finish. So we do have a drone view coming, I'm told, and we're going to get a little bit of a view of this from the sky here from initiation. So let's look at that inside clip. Just slightly off there, a little bit off in outside zone number 1. Decent, nice job there on outside zone 2. Coming to that inside clip, really nicely done on inside clip number 2. And then, of course, again, outside zone 3. Perfect through there.
You say, of course, like that was just kind of par for the course for Fredrik Asbo, the Norwegian Hammer, just really delivering there. But you could just see just wide open spaces here at Utah Motorsports Campus. Thank you for joining us. We are live. My name's Jared Deanda, Ryan Lontaine, Chris Yule, Brian Eggert, scrutinizing. We are only 2 drivers in to a 30-plus car field. A 94. Wow, make some noise for Fredrik, the Norwegian Hammer Asbo, a 94. That is a very, very dominant score for Fredrik Asbo. And again, we are waiting for our next vehicle. That will be Ryan Turk, another Rockstar energy drink driver. Ryan Turk in that Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla on Nitto tires. The race service boys cheering him on. He got the win in Long Beach, the debut of that Toyota GR Corolla. Quick little snap into it. Man, look at that. We talk about that rate to angle on that inside clip. Now the outside zone. Look at this hot hatchback. This gentleman has definitely been busy tightening up to that inside clip. Here's where it gets interesting. Let's see how it goes. Into that outside zone. That overhead is going to be an absolute indicator of where that vehicle is placed. And this is, it's just so quick. The slow-mo and that overhead is going to be an absolute tool, Ryan, as we take a look at it again.
Great flick to initiation here, great rate to angle, and then he manages to hold that angle until the inside clip where he loses a little bit there. Wasn't fully in outside zone 1. Looked like he did a good job in zone 2. Coming to inside clip, perfect line through there. The tire was right on the inside of that line. That was beautiful. And then as he comes to outside zone number 3, you can see he got on the rumble strip a little bit and then came off just in that second half, but started off really strong. So let's look. Inside clip 1, outside zone, didn't even get near the box, so that'll be a deduction on line. Great job on outside zone 2. Inside clip 1, like we said, was right on that line, perfect through there, really looked sharp. And then through 3, just left a little bit early. So he is leaving a couple of points on the board here, but I think he's gonna do pretty well on style. It looked like he was pretty stable throughout the course.
It's my Turk in a box, or the lack thereof Turk in a box. He was not in there in that second and first. You could see him just on the outside of it. So backing up his Rockstar Energy Toyota and Nitto tire teammate, Fredrik Asbo, with that 94. I have to assume that's going to be a little lacking here. I think it's still going to be warrantable to be in top 32, of course, and of course it is. There it is, a 91, a 91. So, but does miss. So you can see again, 35 out of 40. on the line. Christopher Forsberg, 3-time champion, on the start line. NOS energy drink. All new Nissan Z, the GTR powered vehicle. Let's see what we got here. Through that start chicane, the chicane not into play here when it comes to what kind of speeds are we seeing here, right?
Hard to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
The sun
All
is
right,
out.
the sun is shining. Sun is shining. And Chris Forsberg comes in just absolutely ripping into that inside clip. Nice, well done here. Let's see how the transition goes in that final outside zone. Can he stay in it all the way through? I saw a quick little nod there, and well done there. So again, Ryan, this is, I do not envy you. I'm just going to throw it out there. I do not envy you, and I think what you do need to focus on is the instant replay. So walk us through it again.
All right, nice flick here to initiation. Great rate to angle from Chris. Car looks really stable once he's at angle. Good job on in-clip 1. Gets deep in zone 1 and zone 2. Coming to inside clip 2. Look at how nice and tight he is on that line. The tire's right on the line. Perfect placement. It's exactly what we want to see. And then as he comes to outside zone 3, tire right on the outside edge the entire way around. So that'll be a nice full 10 points for outside zone 3 for Chris.
You know, Chris is one of the last standing veterans of Formula Drift. We've been competing in the Formula Drift Championship since 2004. Next year, 2023, celebrates 20 years of the Formula Drift Championship. And it's great to see just what and how this sport has progressed. Some of our fans there in the stands. Can you see yourself there? I don't know if you can. But grabbing some nachos, grabbing some hot dogs, grabbing some heat, grabbing a good time. Is that Waldo? I think that's Waldo. That's Waldo to the, are those Jordan 11s? I can't really tell exactly. All right, waiting the score for Christopher Forsberg. A 93, a 93 for Forsberg. .93 for Forsberg. That is a very, very good position, sitting second behind Osbo. Chelsea Denofa. Here we go, Chelsea Denofa in that Pennzoil Ford Mustang RTR. Big, nasty initiation. 104 miles per hour on entry. 104, no big deal. 88, that's what causes him to go back to the future. But right now, he is going back to some amazing speed into that final outside zone. Look at this. You think Chelsea likes this track? Duh. Are you kidding me? Well done by Chelsea Denofa. Flat out, zip tie that pedal to the floor. Well done by Chelsea Denofa. Again, MPH on entry, not a unit measure, but still, that's that X factor.
Yes, it is, Jared. So nice snap to initiation here. Big high speed.
Fluid.
But you can see his angle came out, and then his line was off as well on inside clip 1. Good job on outside zone 1. 2, he may have dropped the tire. We'll have to see that from the drone. His line through in clip 2, gorgeous, right on the line, perfect where we want to see it. Outside zone 3 here, you can see that he wasn't all the way in. The tire was kind of on that white line a little bit, but overall, a really great run. So let's look at, you can see right there, reduction in angle off of the line. Full points for outside zone 1. Outside zone 2, great job as well. And then right there through inside clip 2, great job there. And then outside zone 3, like I said, not perfect through there. Got deep early on, came out of it a little bit and then got back in, but didn't ride that outside edge like we've seen some drivers doing.
Yo, how we doing? Look at the kids, start them young. How we doing, kiddos? Yeah, that's you. Look at them. Yo, look at those haircuts. Who's your barber? Oh my gosh, look at these kids. Look at these kids all flossed out. My man just looking stoic in his pit vipers right there. What's up, man? Yeah, okay. Don't even acknowledge the camera. Don't look at it. No, you don't look at explosions either. I get it. 92, that is a 92 for Chelsea Denofa. He sits in third. Just styled out behind Christopher Forsberg. Man, I'll tell you what. This is just, things are heating up in more ways than one. Not only here in the judges stand, but also the spotters booth and on track. It's a hot one. here we go. Dylan the Dozer Hughes, the Permatex Fast Orange Falcon Tires BMW. He's running that 2J under the hood. Watch this man expedite this. Speaking of Fast Orange, he is Fast Blue right now around that. Oh, wow. Holy cow, performing surgery. Get the scalpel out. Into that last outside zone. Does he feel it? Okay, set it and forget it. Let's take a look at that again here. We're gonna back it up here, Ryan. I really liked what he did on that inside clip. That was just a good wraparound. Let's take a look at it again.
Nice snap to initiation. The car looks settled through inside clip 1. No adjustments there until just after it, but does a good job on zone 1. Zone 2 looks like he completed it as well. Maybe a little bobble right there coming into inside clip 1. Just missed it by an inch. Really nicely done there. And as he comes through outside zone number 3, looks like his tire's right on the line, maybe a little bit off of the line, or the edge of the track, sorry, as he gets to the last part of that outside zone.
So kind of exceeding the line.
A little bit, no, a little bit inside. So let's look. Great job on 1 and 2. Again, can't get any better on inside clip 1. That was inch perfect right there.
But we're splitting treads, is what you're saying, on the last outside zone.
Yeah, so let's see. Goes over a little bit there, but nice line. Yeah, he's inside just ever so slightly. Could have been a little further out through the entirety of the zone, but it might be a point off overall right there. So really great job from Dylan Hughes.
And you can see who has won, and we have had a different winner at each round. I think that is just tremendous. Turk, Osbo, Hughes, Reeder, Taguchi, Denofa. Who's winning here in Utah? We will find out on Saturday afternoon, just before dinner. We'll get you home for the meatloaf. Don't burn it. Grantsville, Utah, just outside of Salt Lake City. I'll tell you what, it's a hot one up here in the judges' booth. But there he is, Matt Sopa, looking so stoic. Look at this. He is the Regal Eagle right now, and there it is, a 94. He jumps up to that second spot, a 94. So we are seeing, again, 94, 94. So Osbo had a higher style score. So Osbo retains that #1 spot. Again, it defaults to style, then it goes to different categories. But overall, Osbo currently has the lead. So we're talking about those P&W boys. Back to back, we are getting that of Dylan Hughes and Travis Reeder. Travis Reeder, our E-Town winner. He won at E-Town in that Link Engine Management. Travis Reeder, Motorsports, BMW. His moms and his pops and everybody's watching. His family's cheering him on. Flat out Travis out. Well done. Not as tidy. So unfortunately, what's crazy is you could see the vehicle, you could see the reaction, not as tidy as we saw that previous BMW of Dylan Hughes, and you could just see it kind of coming off a little early there, but Ryan, walk us through it.
All right, so good initiation there. Maybe a slight deduction in angle by inside clip 1, but he was good on line. Outside zone 1 and 2 look really solid. Looks like he had a reduction in line there at the end of outside zone number 2, but really tight on in clip 2. And like you said, Jared, outside zone number 3 was not in the box for the majority of that zone. Probably over half of it, he was inside. So here we go again. Initiation. Right there, you see how he pours on angle. We want to see a consistent angle from zone in clip 1 to zone 1. And the same thing after zone 2, there's a reduction in angle there as well. Line-wise, he's doing pretty well until he gets to outside zone 3. You can see right there where his line suffers a little bit for the last probably 2/3 of outside zone 3.
All right, that sun is absolutely baking down, and the spotters play an integral role to our drivers, and just kind of giving the feedback, saying, hey, this is what the judges are looking for. As speaking of the judges, an 89 for Travis Reeder. So you can see still a decent score, all things considered, but you're on the track by yourself and just seeing how fast this track is, where we're at. Travis Reeder, our Englishtown winner. I mean, he's in top 10. I mean, Travis Reeder, just a rising star in the Formula Drift world, should absolutely hold his head high with that qualifying run. Here we go. This is Odi Bakshi's. Odie Bakshi's with that Falcon tires, field suspension, S15. I have a feeling this track is going to be really fitting for Odie Bakshi's. A little off that, would like to see him a little bit tighter, but we're talking about that liner, not the clip, right? Because where that clips, gets into the gravel a little bit. So you saw him get into the gravel and then go out. So unfortunately, that line. So Ryan, walk us through that inside clip, because like I said, Dylan Hughes was really tight to that clip, but walk us through that front clip and also that outside zone.
Yeah, so
the last one.
Yeah, the inside clip. So outside zone 1, 2, really strong here. The line is there mainly for the lead car not to surpass it through the majority of it. But if they get really close to the clip, I'm fine with that. I'll give them full points.
But this is
right. He gets in the dirt.
See that?
It's the same thing that happened to Matt Field, just a little bit earlier in that zone. So definitely an error there. If you drop your tire, it tends to cause the car to over-rotate a bit, and then the car shoots in, and it's not ideal, right?
We saw that from field.
Exactly.
Like we saw that from field. Like here's the teal and blue cars. They get into the gravel, it disrupts the car. It's not as fluid, you know, just that whole line.
But look at his line through zone 1 and zone 2. Beautifully done, right on the rumble strip there. Can't get any better than that.
I mean, and again, so is it the cone or is it the line for all the fans? Just to clarify,
it's the
new track. It's a new track. It's not. I'll let you finish. This is kind of a loaded question here. Just to give clarity, is it the cone or is it the line? Because people will say like, okay, he knocked over the cone, or where is he at? Because Dylan Hughes was super close to the cone.
Yeah.
But walk me through it.
It's the cone that we're looking for, Jared.
Okay.
We want him close to the cone, but I'm giving full points for an inch away or 6 inches away in there. It's a bit of a zone right there. So typically, if the tire's on the line or you're just grazing that clip, it's going to be the same score. It's going to be a full 5 points for there.
I like it.
The line is mainly there for in tandem. We don't want the lead driver to surpass it. And I'm talking about overall, right?
Right.
Not right at the clip, because that's not a big deal. It's about after the inside clip. We don't want somebody to go inside, because that'll choke off the chase driver. So that's the main reason for the line being there.
Yeah. All right, here we go. This is Rome Charpentier. Rome got second in E-Town. He's gained so many fans this year, and guess what? You're going to be a fan of him right now. Garagistic BMW E36 goes in big angle. Let's see if he can dial it in high speed. The fastest track we've seen in Formula Drift history. And now big angle and big sweep through that final outside zone, that garagistic BMW. Well done by Rome Charpentier. And I know you want to say it, Rome Charpentier.
So looking at his initiation, generally that would be a good initiation, but after the initiations we've seen, you can see that it was a little bit slower, a little bit more controlled. He does a good job in zone 1 and zone 2. Nice and tight on the clip. Right there's a slight deduction in angle, but I think he hit it pretty well. Got right back to angle really quickly. As he transitions here for zone 3, you can see that right rear tire about the middle of outside zone number 3. Could have been a little bit deeper there, but he did a good job through the zone overall, so just could have been a little bit wider through that area.
All right, so as the judges scrutinize the runs, waiting for... All right, so again, some of the scores feel a bit similar, but it's kind of like line angle style. And Ryan, you are line judge, you know, taking obviously a look over Chris's shoulder here, angle judge. It's happening at such a rapid rate, and I think the instant replay is really scrutinizing it. Brian Eggert, you know, obviously our style judge, but to elaborate on that, why kind of landing in the same vicinity. But Rome Charpentier with a 91 nice. For Rome Charpentier here in our K&N, the official performance filter of Formula Drift qualifying.
Yeah, looking at the scores, Jared, of course they could be similar, but you can gain an advantage in one part of the track and lose some points in another part of the track, and those points can then even out, you know, from one driver to another. Even though the runs look different and the scores are the same, it's because those points are scored differently in different areas.
All right, so we'll delve kind of more into that, but the Goosh, Ken Goosh, again, another veteran of Formula Drift, has been competing since day one. This gentleman is definitely a busy man. The threes racing Toyota GR86. Woo-hoo-hoo! Well done here. Now coming to the last outside zone. Man, this car is built for speed. Well done by the Goosh. Let's take a look back. Let's rewind it back. Take a look at the tail of the tape. What do we got?
So a little bit off of inside clip 1 there. You can see he missed the box. Good job in outside zone 1. Outside zone 2, nicely done there as well. Really perfect on the line there through inside clip number 2. And then as he transitions for outside zone number 3, he gets into the zone really well and maintains it almost all the way around. You can see there,
wow.
Couldn't be much better. Maybe a foot deeper in outside zone 3 is all he lost there. So inside clip 1 off a little bit. Good on outside zone 1. Good on outside zone 2. Right on the line there at inside clip number 2. Nicely done. And then transitioning for 3. Beautiful line through outside zone number 3. So I think that the main loss of points for him will be inside clip number 1. I think that's where, had he been tight on that, his score would have been really high for line.
All right, awaiting Ken Kushi, his outcome, what and how. The sum of all his totals, a 92, a 92. So again, just the variation from line, angle, style, you can see that. Take note of what you're looking at there, the breakdown of it overall. Look at 90s. You know what this is telling me, Ryan? What is this telling you?
This is a good track.
Like you said, it's the dark horse of the championship, and I think it's going to be making for some exciting head-to-head. It's going to be fast. It's going to be nasty. Smoke is going to be a big factor here, both in the Pro Spec and the Pro Championship, as Renee is trying to get the footage of her man Rad Dan and just make sure we are making sure the Gear Wrench GT Radial Supra gets all of its shine in more ways than one. Rad Dan Burkett, Rad Industries Gear Wrench GT Radial Mark IV Toyota Supra leaving the start line. Let's see what the molded one has to throw down. Business up front, party out back, but it is all party right now. Initiating into that front clip, now transitioning into the outside zone. Let's see how the Mark IV Toyota Supra, a little correction there, a little straightening, but throw it out there, throw that angle out there, Dan. Again, we're talking about the line, we're talking about the clip, what are we doing, how does he feel it? Here he goes in the outside zone. You can see him expediting it kind of quickly, about the half zone, didn't stay in it. Again, if you want to lift, you got to stay in that elevator. He kind of got off at level 3 as opposed to level 5. So unfortunately, Rad Dan, he gets off at level 3. I don't know what's on that level, what he's so excited about. Let's take a look at it again, though.
So there was a bit of a step at initiation, a bit of a bobble, slightly off inside clip 1, slightly off outside zone 1, pretty decent on outside zone 2, a little bit off on inside clip 2, and a little bit off on outside zone 3. So just slightly off in each zone. Could have been a little bit wider on all the outside zones and a little bit tighter on all the inside clips. So just a couple of points lost here and there throughout the run. So you can see there, just on the outside edge of that box for outside zone number 2. And then as he goes into outside zone number 3, you can see there, leaves the box and then kind of gets back towards the edge of the box near the end. But not ideal line through there. We'd like to see him deeper in outside zone 3 for the majority of it.
Look at that overall view of this Utah Motorsports campus, a brand new venue for us. If you're just tuning in, we are live. Your tour guides, Jared Dienda, Ryan Lontaine, our judges, Chris Yule and Brian Eggert, giving you round 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. We are here on qualifying day, but it is double header because you are seeing the Link Engine Management Pro Championship, and it's culminating here tomorrow night. That's an 82 for Rad Dan. Rad Dan, a busy man, Rad Dan. Unfortunately gets an 82, but I still think that could hold up. I still think that could hold up. And this gentleman coming up next, Kazuya Taguchi, he won in such an emotional way in St. Louis. He was Ichiban, and I emphatically cut him off of his speech, and absolutely love Kazuya Taguchi. I apologize, but guess what? He is right now in the up garage. Toyota 86. with that GTR engine under the hood, and right now he's cutting me off because right now he cuts into that inside clip. Let's see how he handles this. That last outside zone. Sign seal delivered. What do we think of Kazuya Taguchi's run here? Just taking a look at it overall, obviously a talent. He rose to the occasion in St. Louis. Walk us through it, Ryan.
Pretty decent initiation.
Thoughts?
The car looked pretty settled through inside clip 1. Not quite as deep in outside zone 1. Outside zone 2 looked okay. Coming to inside clip 1, just on the outside edge of that box, so not ideal there on the line.
Yeah, a little wide.
Yeah, and then right here, you can see he's not fully in outside zone number 3. Probably on that edge of that white line all the way around, of the inside white line. I mean,
like
so
putting the tire just inside the box,
yeah,
right on the
exactly.
entry level.
Yeah, so pretty decent job in 2. Well, like I said, was a little off of outside zone 1, a little outside of inside clip number 2, and then right here, not all the way in that box. You can see that right rear probably is right on the white line as he goes through outside zone number 3.
So kind of magnetized towards that white line, and that line is getting buried progressively. So a little bit of an advantage here. We're obviously not going to stop, restripe it. So there's a little bit of a disadvantage here for the later qualifying drivers as that kind of line starts to deteriorate. So unfortunately for Kazuya Taguchi, he just kind of rode that line there. Would like to see him a little bit deeper there into that box and into that outside zone. And there it is, Kazuya Taguchi with an 89. Still a very great score here, 89. So we're seeing 90s. I feel like 90s, you're locked and loaded. 80s, you're kind of flirting with disaster here and going to the not so great 8. The entry list I'm seeing here is 37, but I believe Josh Reynolds is a no-show. So we will. I did see Trenton Beecham. I did see Josh Love. Is Ula Yeager in the building? Yeah.
Sure
Darren
is.
Kelly. I know
Yep.
he is. Is Kyle Mohan here?
Yes, sir.
All right. Simon Olsen. Yeah,
Sure.
Simon.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I believe so. The 2JZ Toyota
yeah,
Supra.
you're right. I did
Joao
talk to him.
Berrion. Joao.
Yeah,
Are we seeing
Joao's
Joao?
here.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
I believe, again, we get our drivers list. Want to make sure everybody runs. And again, a DNS, do not start, or DNF as a do not finish, but a DNS. So I believe we should be seeing 36 drivers complete their first qualifying run. Therefore, we will be seeing 4 drivers that are not going to be in a competition for, obviously, our main event. All right, our afternoon sun here just absolutely baking. Again, a beautiful backdrop. Utah Motorsports Campus.
Saw some track staff out on the track looking for what looked like oil potentially, which is always scary.
Oh boy.
We did have an oil down earlier and was not awesome. So hopefully they're not finding anything out there. It doesn't look like they are. Looking pretty good so far. That's what I'd like to hear.
And here we are up in the booth. The high-speed entry, we saw 104 from Chelsea to Alpha. The sun is kind of glaring in our face, and how do you think that contributes to the track there, Ryan?
Yeah, as you come through inside clip 1, you're going to be looking right at the sun as you're, going towards outside zone 1 and 2. Hopefully they've got windshield banners that'll block a little bit of that sun, but I'm sure it's still a part of the equation. As soon as they get by inside clip number 2, it's not a problem from that point on. But that is a vital part of the track right there. You need to get yourself out to outside zone 1 and 2 to get through the rest of the course, because that sets you up for the important part of the track later on. So if you're missing that, it's going to cause a bit of a problem. So it's pretty vital.
We've gone through about 10 plus drivers. We have about 20 plus more. What are your expectations for the main show that is Saturday?
Saturday.
Right. Today's Thursday.
I had to think there. Wait a minute. Today's Thursday.
Exactly.
Well,
what are your expectations for game day?
Yeah, we've watched some practice already where guys have been very close in tandem, and it's looked amazing. As long as the lead driver is going by inside clip 2 properly, that sets the chase driver up for the right line to maintain that proximity all the way through to the finish line. So that is key, and we are putting a lot of responsibility on those lead drivers. We have the pro briefing this evening after qualifying to discuss what we're going to be looking for in tandem.
Yeah.
And inside clip 2, we already had the pro spec briefing where I pointed out to them that is a vital area. If you're dropping a tire there, you're on the inside. You're
reiterate that. Where's the vital area?
Inside clip number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the momentum that's carried through that area, it's a very easy spot for the lead car to cause the chase driver to not have anywhere to go.
Kind of check up and
sort of
block them.
And block them, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
park it, as we say, right? Quote unquote park. All right, here we go. So back to the action here, and I believe this is Wataru Masayama. Yep, Wataru Masayama here, throwing down in his Buy Now Japan Sylvia S15. This track might favor Wataru, as Masayama goes through the entirety of the course. You know, here he is in the top 15. I don't want to say top 10 because he's just looking outside, but Wataru Masayama has obviously the J style, and I think this feels like a J style course to me. It feels very Fuji-ish, if I for lack of a better term.
Yeah, you're right. So not accurate is what I'm going to say about Wataru's run here.
Okay.
He did leave quite a few points on the table in terms of line. He was off on inside clip 1, inside clip 2, and outside zone 3 pretty significantly there. So definitely going to leave some points. So he did really well on zone number 2 right there. But you can see he's off of inside clip 2, and then he was off on outside zone 3 as well. So if you watch where he is here, he gets in the box, but then he's inside quite a bit through the rest of the outside zone number 3. And he was off of inside clip number 1 as well. So we are leaving some points on the board there in terms of line for Masayama.
All right, Wataru Masayama looks like he is, unfortunately, did he come to a screeching halt?
Does look like it.
Yeah, he came to a screeching halt there towards the end. So Masayama comes to a stop there as we will continue here with our qualifying. Up next will be Justin Pollock, JTP, and just such a fast track. Such a fast track. JTP ripping at the Falcon tires. Taking a look at the score. Masayama with an 85. Masayama with an 85. So you can see 31 line, angle 27, style 27. So missing 3, 3, 3, and obviously do the math. A 9 out of line to get that 40 line score. JTP, he has transported himself from California, originally from Michigan. His wife and his son cheering him on. Jackson doing burnouts in the Z. Jackson, I see you, buddy. How we doing, Pollock? I see you, buddy. Yeah, that's right. Your pop's treated you right.
99 miles per hour.
99? Is that what we're doing? Here we go. JTP, Justin Pollock initiates. 99 miles per hour. Big angle from JTP. He's got something to prove. He lives now here in Utah. Hammering down into this outside zone. He posted an early video of this track, and that was within oh, look at that. He dances into the dirt. Yeah, dirty dancing, little gravel machine gun there towards the latter portion of the track. Somebody's going to get a little rifled there. Look a little more rally racing than it is drifting, but overall, he did post a video earlier last week, and we saw him at Grid Life, but overall, I think a good, exciting run.
Yes, like you said, he had a couple of days of practice here early on. He's missing a couple of things here. He was off of inside clip 1. He was off of outside zone number 1. Good on outside zone 2, and outside zone 3, nice and deep there as well. But a couple of errors early on in the run. So looking here, nice and, I mean, you couldn't get much tighter than that on inside clip number 2. Almost grazed that clip with his front bumper. So looking great through outside zone 3 as well. Nice wide line all the way through. Dropped a tire beyond the finish line, so that won't have an effect on his score. But pretty clean. Just a couple of things missing there in JTP's run.
Yeah, so as we can see some smoke there off in the distance, that's I don't know if it's celebratory or if it's a good thing or a bad thing. You can see the, oh, that's the burnout box there. Who do we have next? Sorry, I was looking the other way, dude. Chris, dude. Don't shake your head at me. I thought that was, I was looking over there, man. Okay, relax, dog. Okay, I was looking the wrong direction. I called the screen, man. All right, look at the top 10 there. Frederick Osbo leads the pack just before Dylan the Dozer Hughes. Forsberg sitting in third. Denofa, Gucci, Turk, Pollock, Charpentier, Bakshis, and Taguchi. Those are your top 10. And now we are looking at Taylor full pull hole. Let's see how this comp cams Likamali, Yellow Speed Racing. Corvette throws down as we are looking forward to seeing what Taylor Hull can throw down. This gentleman definitely busy. The Wild Willies, here we go into that front clip. Let's see how he handles it. Well done. In that final outside zone. And brings it on around the Comp Cams Corvettes. What do you think there, Ryan Lontaine? And again, Wild Willies taking care of his beard, but taking care of the track. What do we got?
A couple of bobbles there as he initiated coming inside clip 1. Right here in outside zone number 2. A couple of little bobbles there as well, but nice job on the line as he comes by inside clip number 2. Then he goes to outside zone 3. Pretty decent line through there. Maybe a couple feet off the outside edge, but overall pretty good line through outside zone number 3. Nice and tight, like I said, on that inside clip 2 marker. Nice job there from him. So a couple of points lost. Well, I think a few points lost on angle and style for the bobbles, and then definitely on line, a couple of points lost here and there, but overall a pretty smooth run at least through the through this course in Utah.
All right, looks like we are warming up some tires, and we are taking a look at how this course breaks down. The burnout box right before the start line. You can see just how the sector map breaks down. Up next is that of Brandon Sorensen, the young buck, the youngest driver in competition. An 86 and 86 for Taylor Hull. So an 86 for Taylor Hull. Currently in 12. You can see inside clip 1, transitioning outside zone 1, 2, and then tightened back up, coming around the bell curve. And then it's not literally downhill, but you can see that sweeping right-hand turn, and then into that final outside zone. All right, let's see what Fly Like an Eagle has Sorensen, Brandon Sorensen coming in for entry. Brandon Sorensen, you can see the miles per hour, the MPH now into that first inside clip, into that first outside zone. Good fluidity here. Let's see how he handles the inside clip. You know what? You can hear the exhaust note. That is a good sign. All right, there's a 90. Okay, so an 80. His sister Amanda Sorensen posted an 83 in Pro Spec earlier, so some knowledge kind of being shared there. Amanda Sorensen, his sister, who competes in the Link Engine Management Pro Spec Championship. What are we looking at? What are we scrutinizing here, Ryan?
Well, his line through outside zone 3, you can see he never really got in the box, and then near the end of the zone, he left it considerably. After initiation here, you can see he was off of inside clip 1. There was a bobble on angle as well. Missed outside zone 1, but did an okay job at outside zone 2 there, and then came through inside clip 1, just outside that white line. So be about a point off there on line, but some considerable points off here in outside zone number 3 as he left even the white line. He was inside quite a bit from that, so definitely some deductions there.
I mean, we are seeing 90s, we're seeing 80s. I feel like the 90s is where it's at. Ryan Turk chilling up here in the box and just hanging out. Ryan, you feel comfortable right now? I mean, it's hot, it's a little warm, but you're looking calm. You're looking calmer than most. Always chilling there. Ryan Turk currently with a 91. A 91. So that's going to be a comfortable position. And there it is, an 82. An 82 for Brandon Soren. So Brandon Sorensen with the 15. A lot of scores still to be turned in. Can you lock and load and solidify again to be in that not so great 8? You want to be in that show. Again, 36 drivers, 4 of our 36 will be watching from the sidelines. Michael Essa, FCP Euro, Bilstein, Lippamali BMW. Listen to that exhaust note. Quickly expediting. Very quick through the course. Look how quick he absolutely. That exhaust, I'm so excited, like just hearing that exhaust note. And he almost camouflages where he was in that last outside zone. The amount, his wheel speed seems like faster than everybody else. Am I correct in saying that?
There's a lot of smoke, Jared. So he had a big bobble there at initiation to inside clip 1. He missed inside clip 1, was off of outside zone 2. And then you can see he was on a tight line coming into inside clip number 2. And that's what we were talking about in the briefing not to do. So he ran over that white line as he was approaching inside clip number 2. And that's not ideal. That's not the line we want to see. And I think it probably stemmed from the area error at initiation. So you can see the way he approached the clip. It was almost an early apex on that inside clip. We'd like to see a traditional straight across the front sort of apex of that inside clip. So definitely a couple of errors there for Michael Essa.
Those are not snow-capped mountains, obviously off in the distance, but some beautiful mountains here in Utah. Zooming in on UMC. And we are up in the Spotters Tower, the Utah Motorsports campus, playing host to round 7. That is the Type S Elevated, presented by AutoZone. I'm Jared Deenda. We are knee-deep in the K&N knockout qualifying. K&N, the official performance filter of Formula Drift. We are halfway through our qualifying. There's an 82 for Michael Essa, so leaving a lot of points on the board there for line. Not pointing fingers, but I'm going to point it right to you there. So again, the not-so-great 8s will re-rack them and stack them. So the format here, it is knockout qualifying. We basically have 36 drivers. We'll re-rack the lower and the bottom 8, and then we will forge a 32. So there's going to be 4 drivers that are looking from the outside in, meaning the bleachers, not on the track. Here we go. Who do we have? Is this Jeff Jones? Yes, it is. Jeff Jones comes in 95, 95.9. Here we go. Are you out of mind? Coming into that inside clip, let's see what Jeff Jones has. Brings around the Evil Auto Works Prisma Labs Nissan 370Z. Look at that. That was, man, I'll tell you what, that was a magnet right there. He had a magnet on the back end of that vehicle and right there into that outside zone on that final outside zone.
Yes, sir. Looking at his initiation, long handbrake pull, but it is an area you got to slow down. Pretty decent on inside clip 1, outside zone 1 filled, outside zone 2 filled. Coming to inside clip number 2, pretty decent job there. Coming by inside clip number 2. Outside zone 3, looking at this from up in the sky, you can see he's right on the outside edge, maybe a foot off of the outside edge of the track right there. So let's look at the inside clip number 2 area to outside zone number 3 area one more time. So a little bobble right there.
Yeah, you saw the hiccup.
So deduction on the style judge there, or probably the angle judge there because it's in the zone. But otherwise, pretty smooth run from Jeff Jones.
With a track like this, it's anybody's game. There's no data to go off of other than if you came out here previously and we said that was allowed. I know Jeff Jones, actually speaking of Jeff Jones, as he gets a score of 90, a score of 9-0. That's a 90, position 10 for Jeff Jones. See you tomorrow on the show, buddy. And the car number 818, Evil Auto Works, Prisma Labs Nissan 370Z. We'll be seeing head-to-head action tomorrow. But coming into an event like this, I'm just really excited to see head-to-head because there's no data.
Yep. Just what they're gathering today. That's it. And tomorrow is pro spec, right?
Yep.
So the pro teams sit out tomorrow. They just kind of hang out, watch some footage, sign some autographs.
So do you think Evan Bogovic, who is competing, you know, in competing pro spec, who is working with Odi Bakshis, and also we have that of Alex Yeager. Alex Yeager, who competes for pro spec and works with the Chris Forsberg team, a little bit of advantage here. As we'll get that in a moment. But Yves Meyer, Toyota Gazoo Racing, Switzerland, Toyota GT86. He had a smile on his face during
That looks like a mechanical issue, Jared, but that'll be.
You
an
saw him shut it
incomplete.
down.
Yeah.
That's an incomplete. That's the first incomplete we've seen.
It is.
Man, like I said, he had a smile on his face during practice. I was over in the Drift Cave paddock, and he felt confident. He felt good. And unfortunately, he shuts it down. That is our first incomplete of the event.
Now, I wonder if that was a misshift because he drove off the track. So
you
have
saw
to
it
think,
kind of doop, like just hiccup.
I'm not sure what happened there. Some drivers are downshifting there. I'm sure not all of them are, but some of them are. So let's look at the flow here as he comes through outside zone 1, outside zone 2. Right there, you see a lot of left foot braking, and then the car just goes straight. But he does drive off the course, and it doesn't look like he had to be towed off after the finish line, so it seems like mechanically the car is working. So there you go, a little tire drop on initiation off of in clip 1. Good job on zone 1. Good job on zone 2. And then right here as he approaches the inner clip, just shuts it down. So maybe we'll get some feedback from his spotter at some point in the future here to understand what occurred. But unfortunately for him, that is an incomplete, and he will be relegated to the bottom 8, and he will have to run another qualifying lap in hopes that he puts a score down that's high enough to keep him in the show. As you said, 4 drivers, if we do indeed have 36, will not be participating.
Oh man, here we go. One of the loudest, if not the loudest vehicle in Formula Drift competition. And here we go, the AZ Rags BMW. Jonathan, the pride of Paducah, Kentucky. Here we go. Jonathan Hurst comes into, see, quick little yank of the brake. Look at the yank of the brake. Now comes into that inside clip. That was well done. You talking about the clip, not the line, the actual cone. How does he handle his final outside zone? Feel it?
Wow.
Okay, little gravel guy.
But that might have been past the finish line.
I believe that was. I feel like it was just past, because you saw the cone and then you saw the gravel. Let's take a look at it again here. What do we got?
So a couple of bobbles there at the approach to inside clip 1, but a good line through inside clip 1, outside zone 1 and 2. A little bit of a bobble there as he approaches the inner clip, but he's on throttle. He's making it look good. Outside zone 3, you ran that line. Look at that right rear tire.
That is a very chaseable run.
Yes, it is. That's a beautiful line.
That was a really good line. Like overall, that was fun to watch. It's great to see Jonathan Hurst step up and rise to the occasion. This is where, I mean, keep in mind, Ryan, we've had a different winner each round. This is where a driver could really solidify a name. Hey, what's cracking? How we doing? What are you guys exchanging down there? Keychains? What's going on there? Hey, that's you on the big screen. Oh, homeboys, what are you guys playing? Pogs? You guys playing Pokemon? What's going on here? You guys, unbutton your flannel. That's a weird flex. Okay.
It is hot out today, Jared.
It is a hot one. EBC Brakes is pumped. What do we got? That's a 92. Jonathan Hurst. This is so, dude. How crazy would it be? A driver like Jonathan Hurst rise. It's not that far-fetched.
It is not.
From what we've seen earlier this season.
Yep. And just continue the trend, right?
Dude.
One more driver that
collect them all. Those guys are playing Pokemon. We're playing Pokemon. Collect them all, right? So why not? It'd be great to see variety.
Hey, we've been seeing variety. We can't complain for variety.
No, dude. This is an absolute potpourri. You're like, oh, what is that? Oh, that's a green M&M. Oh, that's a red M&M. Here we go. Speaking of sweetness, let's talk about that. Of the one and only Mike Power. Big angle there from that S15. Mike Power Saw him at the Bristol 1000. Cletus McFarlane ripping the Type S lights. What do we got here from Mike Power? Ooh, he knocks it over. A little tight, a little too tight. Tight like a toy got Mike Power. Set it, forget it. You saw him in it, out, and then back in it. So that line overall, this is a disadvantage here for some of these drivers, but the aggression is there. But is the line, Ryan?
Yeah, so you saw a bobble approaching inside clip 1, off the line a little bit there in inside clip 1 as well. He ran over the base for inside clip 2, so that's going to be a deduction on line there as well. Outside zone 3, like you said, he started off in it, left it, and then stayed out of it for the rest of the run. So about halfway through outside zone 3, he was not in it. So right there you can see he was off inside clip 1. Good job on outside zone 1. Deep in outside zone 2. And then ran over that base, so he did hit inside clip number 2. The car looks fairly settled throughout, so you know, a couple of little bobbles here and there, nothing too serious, so he'll have a couple of deductions on line and angle as well.
Mike Power getting through. You can see all the rubber being laid down there in our Pedal Commander burnout box. This is the Type S Elevated, presented by AutoZone. Next driver, we are looking at Dean Carnage Carney, the signature Dodge Viper of this Irish driver. And there's an 84 for Mike Power. We are just about halfway through, so
we're over halfway through. That was 21 right there.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I say that because with him being kind of 17th, is he in comfortable territory? Just doing math. I'm bad at math.
Me too.
Yeah.
We can just be mad at Bath together.
We can be mad at Bath.
Mad at Bath.
Oh man, I haven't taken a bath in a long time.
Don't be
Here
mad
we
at
go,
it.
Dean Carnage Carney, and this is the HyperNFT.io Dodge Viper. Ooh, great aggressive initiation. And let's see how the sweeping turn comes down into that outside zone, in the second outside zone, getting tight into the clip. And a little bit outside of that line. Love the speed, love the aggression, and then just gets into the asphalt. Not as precision as I would love from Dean Carnage Carney. Seems like he's on a bit on the wild side. What do you got?
Good off of inside clip 1, but good job zone 1. Outside zone 2, drops a tire over the rumble strip, misses inside clip number 2. Then as he transitions here for outside zone number 3, he does get a tire in the dirt right there, but manages to not have it affect him. He leaves the zone ever so slightly early.
Barely got into the gravel.
Yeah. So right there, he's got a tire drop in the dirt. You can see that he bobbles because of it, loses a little bit of angle, but gets back on it, stays on throttle, doesn't let it affect him too much, but of course the car's attitude was bothered a little bit. This one didn't affect him at all though. No angle disruption, just stayed on throttle and made it through.
All right, let's see what we got here. See how Dean Carnage Carney.
The dust just made it to us, Jared.
I know, right? Yeah. I think that's tire smoke. The wind's shifting. 89, look at that. Dean Carnage with a K gets an 89. So guess what? We'll see you tomorrow, dude. We'll see you tomorrow. Do the math. Here we go. Osbo leads the pack, our defending champion. Dylan the Dozer Hughes, the winner in Orlando. Forsberg, Denofa, Hurst, Gucci, Turk, Pollock, Charpentier, Bakshis. Those are our top 10. And then going on to our top 20 overall. You can see that. Jeff Jones, Carney, Taguchi, Reeder, Hall, Masayama, Field, Power, Sorensen, and Essa. Top 20 drivers. So get a 90, you're in it. Get an 80, you're flirting with it. Get a 70, you ain't in. So you really gotta press it. Nick Novak. Look at this Nick Novak. Driving that CoroWorks BMW. There we go. CoroWorks BMW comes into view. Shout out to Tyler. Hope you feel and get better soon, homeboy. Big angle there from Nick Novak. Look at that. Quick little yank of the brake. Wraps it around. So a quick little massage. Nice job there by Novak. You can hear him kind of get the car into the outside zone and then just absolutely stomp it. Let's run it back. Let's see what's going on here with Nick Novak.
Nice initiation, Jared, as he comes to inside clip 1. Just slightly off there. His line was a little bit early. Good job on zone 1. Good job zone 2, but that's where I was wanting to see that bobble right there.
Yeah.
So he did have a mistake right there. He was a little bit early on inside clip 2, so not the ideal line through there, but not terrible. And then his line through outside zone 3 was pretty solid. Just missed a little bit of the middle there, but overall, pretty good line from him through there. As we watch him come through outside zone number 3, you can see there is where he left and then got back in a little bit later. There was a DB, did you say? Oh.
Yeah, might be a low tire pressure there,
Okay.
but overall, little weeble wobble, but he didn't fall down. Nick Novak. Nick Novak with a 90. Nick 90 back is more like it, kiddo. Well done, the CoreWorks BMW. Look at that Nick Novak. Are you a big Nickelback fan? I feel like you are since you're Canadian.
No.
Okay.
No, that doesn't.
All right,
doesn't go
Ryan,
hand in hand.
Ryan, you get in your car, you turn on your radio. What are you listening to? Oh, see, nailed it. Daniel Stuckey, here we go. Daniel Stuckey jumping in his car. He's about to be Stuckey-Stokied. Here we go, the M-Spec S15. Always a shredder. Let's see what you got here. Big angle there from Stuckey. Coming to that inside clip. This is where the horsepower, I think that, you know, oh, dude, horsepower, schmorsepower. See a little wobble there, kind of just working it in. I want to get that overhead view. I mean, again, Stuckey really making a name for himself. Love his performance, love what he's doing. Let's take a look at it again from the eye in the sky.
Couple of bobbles after initiation, misses inside clip 1. Good job on outside zone 1. Good job on outside zone 2. As he comes to inside clip, he's a little too far inside, and you can see that he's got a tire over the line, so he'll get a deduction there on line. You want to see a wider line approaching inside clip 1. Right here, he's in the box, then he's out of the box, and he's back in the box a little bit. There's a bit of a bobble there, so he'll have some deductions on line and angle through outside zone 3 as well.
Yeah, not the deepest angle on that last outside zone. He filled it as my mans are just chilling right there. That's what's cracking, dog. Who's that? Is that Miles? Stops for Miles there? Looks like Miles with his big old dog, man. Look at this guy, man. He just chilling. I got my dog. I got my lifeguard hat. Lifeguard's on duty, and it's Miles. That's who it is. All right, here we go. 85, Mr. Dustin Miles. And right now it's Daniel Stuckey. Stuckey racing 85. Do you feel like that's a comfortable position for him to be in head-to-head on game day? Yeah.
We have 13, no, 12.
He's flirting with it. He's flirting with being on the bubble. And that's where the bubble starts to coagulate here, right?
Yep. That bubble,
Fetty.
That bubble's trouble.
Okay. Leave the dad jokes alone. Federico Sharifo. Here we go. Fetty in Fiorella. He says this car's run better than ever before. He is confident with his Pennzoil Ferrari. Yeah, he loves his car, and he is feeling the flow, the Triple F, the 599 GTB. Okay, here we go, open her up. Take a rip, tater chip. Misses that outside zone, unfortunately, but I'll tell you what, he absolutely was just kind of housing that thing.
Yeah, that was, I think this car likes big open tracks with on-throttle areas. He missed inside clip 1 ever so slightly. Great line through outside zone 1 and outside zone 2. There was a bobble there at initiation, so that'll be taken into account. Great line through inside clip number 2. And then as he transitions here, a couple of handbrake pulls too many maybe, going to outside zone 3, so the style judge might get him there. And then his line wasn't ideal through outside zone 3, but he was wide. He just wasn't all the way wide. So let's watch here again as he goes through zone 1. Zone 2, coming by inside clip number 2, you can see on throttle, smoky, great line through inside clip number 2. As he transitions here, handbrake, 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 handbrake. And that might have hurt him slightly. His line is just inside the box. Not quite in it.
You know what? Not as violent outside of the box that I thought. From kind of the angle on the ground, it looked like he was kind of way outside, but that's, I'll tell you what, don't chastise me right now, Formula Drift fans, because angles are everything in this course. I'm not just talking about drifting, but I'm talking about cameras. So just we need to get the eye in the sky as an 88 for Federico Sharifo. So it's all about getting that overhead, getting the eye on the ground, getting the eye in the sky, getting those different perspectives. If you haven't purchased your Formula Drift gear, go to shopfd.com, official merchandise, shopfd.com. Yo, I've seen you wear that shirt, that middle one.
I've had the one on the left.
What happened to
I've
it?
had that one.
Yeah, I collect
Just
them all,
wore
dude.
them out.
Collect them all.
Gave them away, wore them out.
All right, here we go. Adam LZ rocking that Mustang RTR Spec 5.
He had some high speeds in practice.
Did he?
To 102, 103.
Ew, this track could favor him. You know, Adam LZ, here he is running, currently sitting 26. Would love to see some big things from Adam LZ, one of the most popular drivers in the Formula Drift Championship. Let's open her up. Come on, hammer down, Adam LZ. Pass that inside clip. And now coming out last outside zone. Speaking of zone, the auto zone. Pennzoil Type S, Optimum Batteries, NGK, RTR, ready to rock. Had the pleasure of announcing the all-new 7th generation Ford Mustang last night. Bonkin Jr. was there. I just got a text from him. Ooh, misses that outside zone.
Yeah, and the inside clip as well. He initiated at 103 miles per hour, but the speed didn't translate into accurate driving throughout the course. You can see that he made multiple mistakes on line, a couple of angle issues through there as well. So not going to be the highest score here, although that was one of the highest speeds we've seen. So you can see right there, lazy transition to outside zone number 2. Low angle there, a lot of left foot braking to try to get the car to rotate as he comes to inside clip number 2. And on, I would say, not really the right angle. You can see a lot of movement in the car there. Do you see that? So the style judge will definitely be looking at that as well as the angle judge. So there will be some deductions here, unfortunately, for Adam LZ.
Are you looking at style judge?
Brian's a style judge.
I know he is.
Oh, okay.
How we doing up there? We good? Everything okay? How we doing? It's a hot one out here, but it's warm and the track is even warmer. I'm Jared Deanna. This is Ryan Lontaine. There are judges, and here's the score. That's an 8-0. That is an 80. He is flirting with it. Rome Charpentier staying hydrated up here in the announcer's booth. It's brisk, baby, talking about not just the weather, but talking about what he's drinking, as we are seeing now Alec Robbins, the Facetto Nissan 350Z. Alec Robbins, let's see what you got from Minnesota. Let's see if he's cold as ice, willing to sacrifice your angle. All right, comes into that inside. Oh, that's a wide. Oh, we have not. Oh, he is in no man's land. Ryan, that is uncharted territory, and that is going to be unfavorable for Mr. Oh boy, he went wall to wall, from the windows to the walls. Unfortunately, that could very well hurt. That's going to hurt a score.
Yes.
Yeah.
Inside clip 1, beautiful job there. Misses outside zone 1. Outside zone 2 does a good job, but stays on that wide line far too long. Drops 2 tires in the dirt, misses inside clip 2 entirely. Transitioning to outside zone 3, gets on a pretty decent line through the zone, only drops a tire after the zone, so could have been wider in the zone, but at least he was in the vicinity of the box there, so not terrible in that sense.
Okay, let's see what we get here for Alec Robbins. Waiting for his score. And there it is, a 72, so 26th place with a considerable amount of drivers left. Robbins is on that bubble. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Robbins is flirting with being on the outside looking in as the tri-spokes come to the start line. Look at those 3-spoke wheels, great looking car. Ryan Littoral, the power stop brakes, Nissan S15. Number 909, Ryan Littoral. Let's see what Littoral's got here. Flying that RB flag, 70, 80, gets to 90 miles an hour, comes out of it, initiates, and comes out of a little, you saw him kind of initiate, comes out of the angle a little bit. And then into that final outside zone. Ryan Littoral. You saw him initiate, kind of come out of it a little bit, and then throw back in. Let's take a look at it again. Analyze it, Ryan, if you will.
Yeah, so he initiates, but just drops so much angle by inside clip 1. Gets on throttle sort of after that inside clip, which we said we want the drivers to be on throttle before the inside clip. I question whether or not that's chaseable. You know, came in at a, 90-something speed. But it's just the amount of corrections coming into inside clip 1.
Oh, Chelsea, relax. It's a family show. Jeez Louise. You too, Derek. You too, Madison. I know you. Yeah. Oh, we're blowing kisses.
All right, so here's another look at this initiation, Jared. So flick to initiation. You got a nice rotation there, but then pulled out a lot of angle and dragged that handbrake, sorry, a long ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're going to have to incomplete that one, Jared. It's just an area where you need to be on throttle through that area. You can't be off throttle like that so seriously for that length of time and that much. And it just looks like an over-rotation and a lack of ability to get around that inside clip. It hurt him so much. So we're going to have to do an incomplete there, unfortunately. And that's not Jonathan Castro, by the way. That was Ryan.
Yeah, that's Ryan. That's Ryan Littoral, unfortunately, and he again with that much yank of the brake, that is going to impede onto. I mean, it comes down to like chaseable,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
That's the big indicator there. It's not like, all right, it was cool, it's tolerable, but unfortunately, with that yank. Jonathan Castro with this Toyota GR86, great looking car. He debuted this vehicle early on this year. Jado Metal Dom from Dominican Republic. Jonathan Castro. Looks like, all right, here we go into that first inside clip. You can see the angle here now working all of the track. Okay, look at that. That splitter basically is just saying, hey, how you doing? You staying out of the heat? Yeah, you are. No, he's not. He's staying all up in the heat and all up in that outside zone. How's your brother doing? Yeah, that's right. He is executed. Well done there by Jonathan Castro.
That was nice.
Woo! That was really, really well done. This is really in contention for a top 10 run.
Yeah, great initiation. Nice line through 1 and outside zone 1 and outside zone 2. Great proximity to that clip through inside clip number 2. And as he transitions to outside zone number 3, just an ever so slight handbrake pull. But look at his line. That right rear tire is right on the edge of the track all the way around outside zone number 3. That was really, really nicely done by Jonathan Castro.
Oh, man. You know, it's Utah, you see inclement weather. I mean, there's snow that happens here, but right now you're staying out of the cold because right now you're in the heat. Jonathan Castro staying in the outside zone at 94. Atta boy. Waving that DR flag. Jonathan Castro, notably one of the most exciting runs of Formula Drift history in Orlando. If you haven't seen it, run it back against James Dean. Ryan Sage, he cried a little bit. I think he shed a tear when we were in Orlando. It was beautiful. I had to hold him and console him because it was just such an amazing run. But take a look back at it. Osbo, Hughes, Castro. Look at that. Osbo, Dylan Hughes, Jonathan Castro jumps in a top 3 spot. There is your remaining of the field. Notably, Matt Field qualifying 20th. He's in the game. Yep. He's in the mix. But I only say that because guess what? He's leading the championship. Right. So it just says, just like shake him up, shake him up, shake him up, shake him, and you're never going to know what's going to happen going into tomorrow. Or excuse me, into Saturday.
Well, when you qualify high, right, you're going against a lower qualifier. Yep. Now, if you're in the middle, you're going to be going against somebody who qualified right around where you did. So the competition level is definitely going to be higher at that point.
The plot thickens as João Berrion from Brazil is going to fly the flag, like I said, of Brazil. The Barbarious Drift Corvette. Ooh, that's got to be the complete, right? I mean, that's going to be an unchaseable run, unfortunately, for João Berrion. João Berrion, unfortunately, seems like he is caught a little bit of the cold and unhealthy right now. So we'll see if he can get a good run on his second run, because that's going to be unchaseable. I mean, imagine we go into Saturday and basically he goes and initiates a car in the chase position. Nope, they're not going anywhere because they're just going to run to the back of that Corvette of João Berrion. So he shuts it down, and that will be an incomplete. What an interesting, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Last night when we were here, the sun was setting through the clouds just ahead of us. Really beautiful setting. I think that's going to happen again tonight, it looks like. So this is a very picturesque track. We have a great layout. Yeah. The facilities. I like this venue.
Are you crying right now? Are you crying?
Just wiping a little tear.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to get a job here. That's why I'm sucking up to them a little bit. Like, oh, this is a great place.
All right. Well, in that Pedal Commander burnout box is that of Simon Olsen. But guess what? Controlled Chaos, if you haven't seen it, it is coming out. The Drop, the Rockstar Energy Drink. It's basically a documentary of the 2022 season, following up that of Ryan Turk and Frederick Osbo. Frederick Osbo, notably the defending champion of Ryan Turk. But Controlled Chaos, it is a series. You can find it on the Rockstar Energy Drink YouTube and their Instagram, so be sure to check that out. As Simon Olsen's about to drop in. And it dropped today, the Controlled Chaos, as Simon Olsen drops in. Here we go. Simon Olsen coming in. That 2JZ Power Toyota 86 Norwegian Drift Championship. Champion himself. Let's see how the 2J Supra comes in. Oh, big angle there. I like that. That was nasty. Does he put the car in the right place? I like this. So again, watch this. Again, all the Norwegian fans, they're going to love this turn. It looks like Gottville, I'm telling you. Somebody's going to get a wreath here tonight. Again, that drift tandem, competition. I've been out to Rudskogen, and you've been out there, Ryan. But
yes, sir.
It's so reminiscent of Rudskogen and Gottville.
So great job inside clip, outside zone 1. Good job on line there through all 3 of those first clips and zones. Coming to inside clip, number 2, just slightly off there, but on throttle, looking good. The one thing I wanted to point out originally, though, was his initiation. It was heavily stepped. Multiple steps. It wasn't just one step.
Like click, click.
Yeah, 1 step, 2 step, 3 step maybe to get the car to angle. So that's going to be hurting him for sure on the style side of things. Initiation's worth, I believe, 10 points for style, so that is going to hurt him there potentially. But online, he did pretty well throughout the track. Just missed a couple of little areas. You can see a little slight bobble there as he gets on the left foot brake, going into outside zone number 3, which he rides a pretty solid line around. Not as deep as we've seen, but pretty solid nonetheless.
All right, let's see what Simon Olsen's got here as our judge is scrutinizing the runs. Chris, say hi to your mom, say hi to your wife. See this? Your hi, wife. Say hi to your son. Say hi to your family. Oh, wow. Okay, well, just documenting it for a lifetime. Simon Olsen gets an 88. Simon Olsen does slide into a decent position. Some people would say notably not the prettiest, but still in contention, and I believe that's going to hold up. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, doing the math.
Currently in 17th, I think it said, right?
Yeah, 17th. He's fine.
Solid.
He's fine.
There's only 5 drivers to go, so.
All right, Kyle the Menace Mohan, the lone rotary, the Wankles are spinning, the triangles, the Doritos, whatever you want to call them. It is beside the point. It is all about that of Kyle the Menace Mohan. Kyle Mohan, renewable lubricants, Mazda Tricks RX-8 comes into that inside clip. Let's see, open up those Wankles. Let's hear him crank. Pass an inside clip. Good precision there from Kyle Mohan. Now coming to that final outside zone. Loud and proud, riding on that razor's edge. You saw him put that back right corner in and then kind of just riding that edge of the outside zone. Let's see what we got here. Let's look at it again.
Did that Wankle sound different than it generally does? So he missed outside zone number 1. Decent job in outside zone number 2. Coming to the inside clip. Beautiful line through the inside clip there. Right on the white line. Perfect placement. Coming, yeah, look at that. Right there. Beautiful. Nicely placed car there. As he transitions, long handbrake pull there for outside zone 3. And like you said, just on that white line. Not in the box, but right on the inside edge of it, I should say.
We're splitting hairs. We are splitting hairs.
That's our job, Jared.
That is your job, not mine, again. How we doing down there? Rocking some heat waves, feeling good? Yeah, arms crossed. I mean, just chilling. Okay, you might be on the big screen. Yeah, you over there? No, he's gonna go over there. I think he might go. No, he's just gonna stay there. He's gonna stand here, and he's gonna go over there. Okay. Well, Sarah says no. No. 83. That's an 83 for Kyle Mohan. That's an 83 for Kyle the Menace Mohan. Puts him in a 24th position. I mean, we're seeing 90s, we're seeing 80s, we're seeing 70s. Who is going to be knocked out? Who's going to the not-so-great 8? Right now, Darren Kelly. Darren Kelly coming to us from New Zealand. The Heart of Racing Aston Martin Vantage on GT Radial Tires. The pride of Auckland. I know New Zealand's cheering him on. The Whānau cheering him on as Darren Kelly. Let's see if the Heart of Racing is here on track. 95 miles per hour, good initiation. Listen to this exhaust note. Unlike any other exhaust note out here on track. Good angle from Darren Kelly. Big angle from him now coming to the outside zone. I just had to shut up because of that exhaust note. That sounded healthy. That's a throaty one right there. That was absolutely uncorked of that Aston Martin. It sounded great.
So by inside clip 1, pretty decent job on line there. Pretty decent job in outside zone 1. Outside zone 2 leaves it ever so early. Could have been deeper in there. Great job on inside clip number 2. Transitioning to outside zone 3. Just on that white line. Gets out beyond the white line and then comes inside a little bit near the end of it. So let's watch this again. On initiation, a couple of little bobbles there after initiation, but great line through inside clip 1 and outside zone 1. A little bit early leaving outside zone 2. Coming to inside clip number 2, just slightly off. Could have been a little bit tighter. And then a nice line through outside zone. Actually pretty deep through 4 or through 3, so nicely done there from Darren Kelly.
All right, taking a look at that Heart of Racing Aston Martin Vantage. Just an insane exhaust note and a really good run. All things considered, the sensationalism of just such a unique car. Gets an 89. Oh man, we're gonna see a head-to-head DK. Darren Kelly gets it. Pin it to win it. The only Kiwi in the mix, and the Fanu, like I said, cheering you on. What's Robin Ishida texting you? Is Robbie watching? Oh, he's striping out there in Japan right now?
No, that's Brian Eggert striping. So he sent me a picture of Brian striping. Thank you, Robbie.
Shout out to Robin Ishida from Japan. He's tuning in and watching, one of our fellow Formula Drift judges. All right, here we go. And this is who I didn't know was in the building, and I'm glad to see him out here. Ola Jäger, Team Japan Auto, Next and Tire, Toyota Supra from Fredrikstad. All right, the Mark IV Toyota Supra comes into that zone a bit off. Could definitely be closer to that inside clip. Let's fill that outside zone. We talked about Gottville. You know the track, you know the turn, and unfortunately does not deliver on that last outside zone. I feel like the car is just, it's gripping up too much.
So his initiation wasn't as snappy as we'd like to see. He was a little bit slow. He missed inside clip number 1. Good job on outside zone number 1, though. Outside zone 2, great job there as well. Coming to inside clip number 2, off considerably there as well. And then outside zone number 3. This is a real problem area here for him. You can see he's way on the inside of the track, so that'll be a massive deduction on line for him through that area.
What's so important on your phone that you're not watching Formula Drift? Are we gonna tag you?
Maybe they're watching Formula Drift online.
Oh, they're watching. It's so meta. It's so meta. 74, unfortunately, for Ola Jäger. That's a 74 for Mr. Jäger. In the burnout box, just behind Ola Jäger, we're looking at the one, the only, Joshua Love. Joshua Love, the Jasper Keys, BMW Jasper Keys, his sponsor. Saw this gentleman last weekend at Grid Life. Nothing but love for Joshua Love. But he's got to show the love. After Hours, Autosports, BMW, big initiation there from him. And then let's see how it transitions into that inside clip. A little wavering there. Come on. Gets off of it. Now here's the shovel. Can you dig it? Yes, he does. You see him getting into that outside zone. Gets out of it, gets back into it. Kind of flirting with disaster here. Joshua Love, you know him. You love him, literally and figuratively.
All right, so nice job through inside clip 1. Decent line there through outside zone 1 and outside zone 2. Coming to inside clip number 2, just a little bit early on that clip. So maybe a point off there for being on the slightly wrong line, approaching that inside clip. Decent job through outside zone number 3. Tire was right on the white line, came off a little bit, and then got back into that box in the latter half of that zone.
Yo, how we doing there? There you go, son. Yo, what's cracking, kids? What's going on? You guys should be in school right now. That's right. What are you doing here? Your teacher just called. You just missed poli-sci. A 90 for Joshua Love. A 34, 28, and 28. So big angle, big style. The cut is, let's just call it what it is, pretty darn high compared to, you know, previous rounds, because we're seeing 90s. Okay, so, I mean, look at this. We are seeing, obviously, Meyer, Literal, and Joao Berillon incomplete. So, right now, Robbins, Jäger, LZ with an 80. So, again, not so great 8s. I lovingly and notoriously have deemed that. So, you got to pin it to win it. If you are in the not so great 8 right now, Trent Beecham, and this is our final driver, I believe, because Joshua Reynolds is not in the mix. Here we go. Trenton Beecham initiates into the next entire Clonex. Now keep in mind, LS powered Ford Mustang. Yeah, that's right. Got a bow tie under the hood. Big angle. Oh, boy. That's going to be. No. Yep. Judges stopped watching. Judges stopped watching. That'll be an incomplete there for Trenton Beecham. So unfortunately for Dr. Beecham, that'll be an incomplete.
So as he approaches inside clip number 2, you can see a massive amount of angle, and then pulls the angle out. I hope it wasn't to get around the clip.
I think that's what I'm thinking. He just didn't bring it out far enough. Yeah. So watch this line. So hits the rumble strips, lining up, and says, "Oh no, I'm offline." Big angle there. Brett tries to correct. Yeah. Not the case.
Unfortunately, that'll be an incomplete from him. Shout out to Garrett at home watching, giving me a hard time. But
Garrett giving you a hard time.
What he does.
Yo, how we doing? You guys, y'all chilling, man. Look at y'all. Chilling on a Thursday, Thirsty Thursday, just kicking it. That's what's cracking, man. I'm jealous. There's events where I'm just like, oh, look at homegirl up top there right now. She vaping it up, crushing it. All right. Well, we will find out what Beecham again, incomplete. So a few incompletes. Let's check the ratings and who is in the mix. Who is going to the not so great 8? This is K&N Knockout qualifying. K&N, the official performance filter of Formula Drift. And we will see those drivers, again, not so great 8s. You see 36 to 29. Right, so again, Burkett, so Essa barely makes it in. So we are looking at Burkett, Adam LZ, Ola Yeager, Alec Robbins, Eve Meyer, Ryan Little, Joao Berrion, and Trenton Beecham. Those drivers, when we come back, the not so great 8 here in the K&N official performance filter of Formula Drift knockout qualifying. Re-rack them and stack them when we come back here to the Type S Elevator presented by AutoZone. Let's go, send it, kids.
For those who don't settle when others do, who will give everything but won't give up. For those who believe in unlimited, while others limit themselves. For those who are set free by performance and believe innovation can take you anywhere.
The first time you try Pedal Commander, you'll feel oh yeah.
The feeling of drifting a car sideways, it is the ultimate form of car control.
It's the calm before the storm, and it's about to go down. It's going to be a dogfight.
And clean start, here we go.
You take that breath and you kind of hold it for 1 split second, and then let's go, let's do this.
I think what the judges want is an all-out battle every single time.
Since I've been doing this for so long and I haven't won a championship, I've come close multiple times. You just got to do one event at a time, one day at a time, but do I want to? No.
Are you ready to send it?
That look on this face right there, that's game time. I'm going to try to take it all.
Look at that, Osbo. You can't count anybody out. Oh my goodness, holy banana cakes.
Oh my goodness, this will give you massive anxiety.
right, stack up my blood flowing.
It's time to turn it up. We need to stay within striking distance of this championship.
I've won the championship twice now, 2015 and 2021. Going back to back will put me in a very elite club. I think we can do it.
Look at that.
I'm Dylan Hughes, Formula Drift Pro driver, and today we're going to talk about Royal Purple HPS and what actually goes into it. There's a lot of talk about additives, and Royal Purple has its proprietary Centerlick technology. It is fortified with a high level of zinc phosphorus anti-wear additive for exceptional protection against heat and wear. Its high film strength improves sealing between the piston ring and cylinder wall for maximum horsepower and torque. Royal Purple HPS, race car technology for the street.
And here we are. Look at that. The sun goes behind the cloud. How epic is that? Look at Utah Motorsports campus. I'm Jared Deanda, Ryan Lontaine next to me, Chris Yule and Brian Eggert scrutinizing the not-so-great 8s. Lovingly, notably, knockout qualifying, the K&N official performance filter of Formula Drift knockout qualifying, and we'll find out what 4 drivers are watching from the sidelines. Notably, again, Adam LZ, just always a fan favorite, just a content creator, YouTuber, just, you know, from Rip It and Grip It fashion. He is in the not-so-great 8. We talked about Ola Jaeger, and we talked about the incompletes of Ryan Literal, João Berillon from Brazil, and only 4 of those 8 drivers will advance on. So again, 8 drivers, 4 spots, half of the field will be watching with the fans tomorrow. We're talking about the Link Engine Management Pro Spec Championship as well as the Pro Championship. Sun is setting here. It's been a hot one here in the afternoon, so Michael Essa barely gets in with an 82, but he'll be in the mix. So Dan Burkett, Adam LZ, Ola Jaeger, Alec Robbins. We're talking about Yves Meyer, Ryan Literal, João Berillon, and Trenton Beecham. Those are your 8 drivers. Rack them, stack them, and track them in just a moment. And we start with the driver who has the highest seating position coming into this round of competition.
What a relief with that sun behind the clouds, Jared.
Yeah,
this is amazing.
We are seeing, looks like Ryan Literal will be the first driver. We see Dan Burkett, Ola Jaeger, and that looks like Alec Robbins. So those are, again, currently, we start with the highest seated driver coming into this round of competition. There's Rad Dan Burkett, Gear Wrench, GT Radial, Rad Industries, Toyota Mark IV Supra. Right behind him, another Mark IV Supra. And Ola Jaeger knocking over the cone there. We can see coming in. Oh, okay. No, so changing things up. Looks like Yves Meyer. There's Adam LZ coming up. So these are your 8 drivers. You know, I've never seen it before. Here we are coming to the 7th round of Formula Drift Championship. A different winner each round. I can't think of a season that this has happened previously.
If you can't think of it, I don't think anybody else would be able to. You've been here for so long, Jared, and you have a great
relax.
memory.
I'm not that old.
Serious. I don't. You've been here since day 1, and you can remember so much about what's happened over the years. If you can't remember it, can't have happened.
Yeah, you know, what I think is really cool about it is that anybody can win. And I think that's the beauty of this season in particular, of just the variety of vehicles, a variety of drivers. The 2022 season, here we are in our 19th season overall.
And how about a new track too, to throw another wrench into everybody's plans? A new track where nobody's really competed before, so this is all brand new.
Speaking of wrench, gear wrench. Here we go, Dan Burkett, the Gear Wrench Toyota Supra GT Radio, Rad Industries, Mark IV Supra, a little bit of a handbrake, 102, 102 miles per hour. Ooh, he exceeds that course line. That's not gonna favor him well, but he can make it up here. Again, it's not completely over now. See how he handles it here on this last outside zone. Fills all that outside zone. Oh man, he's flirting, man. He is really flirting with him, exceeding the track course, and then on that last outside zone, that's not favorable for him.
Yeah, he was.
Don't leave it in your hands, Ryan.
He managed to stay in drift. But, oof, low angle there. Oof. I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk with the guys about this.
Well, you do know. You're just analyzing. You definitely do know what's going on.
Well, I just don't know if is that chaseable from.
Oh wow.
You think about the.
What would be the scenario, right?
Yeah, like the decel, the fact that he's off course, offline.
Yep.
It's a lot.
A
lot just happened.
He's flirting with disaster, and that's exactly like my knee-jerk reaction is.
There you go.
Okay, so there's that drone. That was a weird in and out. That's less than ideal for Dan Burkett as the judges conversing in regards to what's going on.
You have to put yourself in the chase car situation, in a tandem situation, and we've been completed 2 cars already for doing the exact same thing, but at the inside clip. This is the same situation as that, just on the other side of the track, further off course, as well as the errors that were made. So we have to stay consistent. We have to stay true to what we're looking for in terms of
adhering to the rules.
Absolutely.
Is that a chaseable lead run?
Right. So the offline, off throttle, angling up, off course, it's too many errors combined into one to make it chaseable. A chase car in that situation would just not be able to chase. That would be, so far off, unfortunately.
So, yeah, I think that's an unfortunate, turn of events there for Rad Dan Burkett, and what you're describing to me is he's going to have to live in the 82 his first run. So are you saying, and is it official? Is that an incomplete?
That's correct.
Okay, so an incomplete there for Rad Dan, and so he does have a score. It's an 82 compared to an incomplete. So he's kind of hoping that there's more incompletes from his competitors. Here we go, Yves Meyer, who did have an incomplete on his first run, dances and flirts with that rumble strip, gets up on it once, twice, ooh, 3 times, oh boy. Yves Meyer, and we're in another scenario. I don't, is that chaseable? Is that, love Yves, but here we are, that Toyota Gazoo Racing Switzerland GR86. It looks, let's take a look at it again here. One, two, oh boy.
4 off.
Yeah, that's going to be an incomplete. So unfortunately for Yves Meyer, he had an incomplete on his first run, correct?
I think so.
So Yves Meyer will have that incomplete once again.
The rule is 3 or more tires off anywhere on the track is going to be an incomplete, and in that situation he was 3, potentially 4 tires off in outside zone number 1, so that's going to be an incomplete for Yves Meyer.
Absolute bummer there for Yves Meyer, coming all the way from Switzerland. So that'll be it. Look at this. So here he goes, exceeding, going to the outside zone. Un, deux, trois,
So what we
quatre.
said is, the first rumble strip is on course. The second rumble strip is off course. So he's got 4 wheels beyond.
Yeah. I'm
the
not
rumble
laughing
strip.
at this scenario. He unfortunately absolutely exceeded the track.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate there for Yves Meyer. That will be an incomplete. But, you know, Dan Burkett, he's stoked. He's like, okay, cool, like, keep it going. A lot of eyeballs on Adam LZ. This AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5. Adam LZ, notably, just one of the most favorite gentlemen. So the all-new Gen 7 Ford Mustang being debuted last night. I had the pleasure of debuting that car last night. The Dark Horse Mustang, GT3, GT4, many different iterations. And
did you sit behind the wheel, Jared?
I did not.
I'm curious what that whole.
They have a flat bottom. They have the curve is sick. They have a flat bottom steering wheel.
dashes
All right, here we go.
straight.
Speaking of flat, let's talk
100
about
miles an
flat tires. We're bringing it on in. Triple digits here from Adam LZ. A lot of people excited, wanted to see him in to our top 32. Oh, look at that, pulling that front right off. Looking way more settled than he was in that first run. Oh, no!
That was 3 off, potentially 4 at the finish line.
Flirting with disaster. Flirting with disaster, Adam LZ. Let's go and make sure that we got that shot overhead, because if he has 3 off, that's an incomplete. Is it chaseable? Again, chaseable. Take that in mind.
Yeah, so looking here at the line he's running, dropped a tire there outside zone number 2. Nice line through inside clip number 2, but this is where it's going to fall apart for him as he comes into outside zone number 3. You can see that right rear drops in and then all the way to the,
oh boy.
That was minimum 3, potentially 4 tires off, so that'll be an incomplete for Adam LZ.
And on his first run, what was the score?
80.
So he sits on an 80. Rad Dan feeling, you know, could breathe a little bit of sigh of relief. But right now, Yves Meyer, he's on his way out. LZ, again, we take the better of the 2. Adam LZ, that's an incomplete. Unfortunate literal turn of events there for Adam LZ. A lot of eyeballs on him. No, so I did not sit behind the wheel of the Gen 7 Ford Mustang, but if you have not seen it, I'm excited. I'm really excited to see those Mustangs in Formula Drift.
And then they have a drift handbrake that you pull up, and it's electronic.
Electronic drift brake.
And it's the separate, you know, the
flip of the
handbrake
switch.
caliper in the back that, you know, a lot of cars have that second handbrake caliper in the back. But
Vaughn called it the now button.
The now button.
It's the now button. Now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how that works.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. The car looked great. Super excited last night. Ford debuts that car. Really, really cool. Looking forward to seeing when that Ford Mustang makes its way back into Formula Drift competition.
Well, Vaughn even said last night he has some stuff in the works, in the lab, as he called it.
Oh, you saw it? You watched?
I told you I watched.
Oh, okay, I
Did
forgot.
you think I was making fun of you?
I thought you were making fun of me. All right, here we go. Alec Robbins, the Facetto Nissan 350Z. Let's see what he's got. What is Alec Robbins sitting on? I believe it's an incomplete. Oh, no. And big angle there from Alec Robbins. You see now coming into that inside clip. Dials it in, could be a little tighter to that inside clip. And now, coming to that outside zone. What do we got here from Robbins?
All right, so looking at the ground from the drone, look at that view. Inside clip 1, nice job, misses outside zone 1. A little bit low angle there in the transition to outside zone number 2. As he comes to inside clip number 2, decent line there, a little bit off, but not too much. And then pretty decent line through outside zone number 3. You can see the right rear tires over the white line through the entirety of the run. Initiation there, pretty decent, but he loses angle coming by inside clip 1. He's offline there, offline at outside zone number 1. Decent job through outside zone number 2. Just right on that line for inside clip number 2. And then something breaks in the left rear as he transitions. Yeah. Not quite sure what happened there.
That was tire. I believe the tire DB'd and then
well, it
kind
just
of
looked
rolled
like
right
the
in.
suspension tucked up as it
Yeah.
unwound there. But I'm going to have a look at that when he parks in the paddock afterwards.
Snarf. Lucy in the sky of diamonds. wow, look at that view here. Utah Motorsports Campus, a great view overlooking this facility. Road America, notably the longest racetrack in the country until this place was built. Utah Motorsports Campus, formerly known as Miller Motorsports Park, now UMC. And there is an 82. So as far as the scores go, in the not so great 8, Alec Robbins jumps to the top.
Thinking about the errors that many drivers are making right now with the track, maybe is a little different in terms of the grip level because of the sun going away. If you feel how cool it got immediately when we went from the first qualifying session to the bottom 8, perhaps that's what happened.
All right, here we go. Ryan Literal, the power stop brakes. S15 Sylvia with the RB power under the hood. Now coming into it, looking a lot more comfortable. Well done there by Ryan Literal. Now see how he handles his final outside zone. That might be, that was a great run. If he only did that in his first run, he wouldn't be in this position where he's flirting with disaster and watching from the bubble outside in. And Ryan Literal, power stop brakes. S15 delivers under pressure.
So inside clip 1, just off of it slightly there. Decent job in outside zone 1. Outside zone 2, he leaves a little bit early. Kind of a tight line there on inside clip number 1. He got it to it early, so that's going to be a deduction for him there. He got close to the clip, but early apexed it instead of coming across it flat like we'd like to see. But a much cleaner run. Decent attempt there from Ryan Literal.
All right, here we go. Joao Berillon, and waiting for Ryan Literal's score. And there it is, an 86. So out of those scores, he's in it. So Dan at 82, LZ at an 80, Alec Robbins at 82, and we are looking at Literal with an 86. So he is in the mix with an 86. Joao Berillon. Joao, let's see where he's at and see where he lands. Again, the speed not even measure, 86, 87. Let's see if he can flow through the score. No, it's going to be shutting down. So unfortunately, so there's an incomplete from Joao. All right, so right now, the double incompletes are hampering, unfortunately, these drivers. So Joao Berillon will unfortunately not be in head-to-head competition from Brazil. The Barbarius Corvette will be parking it, unfortunately, for the weekend. Always got a smile on his face, but I gotta imagine a little frustration here. But Joao Berillon not qualifying for head-to-head competition. Unfortunately, the Brazilian driver will be parking it and watching it from the sidelines. Ola Jaeger. So Ola Jaeger could disrupt the norm here. So talking about some of these drivers here. We saw Yves Meyer with the double incomplete. So the person who is really kind of chewing at their fingernails right now is Adam LZ, because we've seen 82s from that of Rad Dan and Alec Robbins, but Adam LZ with an 80 on his first run. So what's becoming a beautiful afternoon and evening. The sun just pulling right behind the clouds. Could change the dynamics. And here we go, Ola Jaeger on the start line. Here we go, Ola Jaeger, Japan Auto, Toyota Mark IV from Norway. Can he put it down under pressure? He's sitting on that incomplete. Big initiation here. Comes to that first outside zone, 97 miles per hour. That is on the button. That's within the vicinity of what he needs to do and how he needs to do it. Again, not a unit measure, but just kind of going off of the bearing of what we've seen previously. Nerves maybe getting to his head, but right now, not so much. Just flirting with getting inside that box. He's still on the outside looking in. Still on the outside looking in. Let's take a look at it again from the eye in the sky, Ryan.
Yeah, slightly off of inside clip 1 there. Deep in outside zone number 1 and outside zone number 2. It looks like a tire drop right there. Nice and tight on inside clip number 2. And then coming to outside zone number 3. Starts in the box, but leaves the box and stays out of it for the rest of that part of the track. So got in it in the beginning, but wasn't able to stay in it through the finish line. So slight deductions there on the line, especially for Ola Jaeger.
All right, let's see what Ola Jaeger has here. Little God's country here. And let's see what we got. An 84, so I'll tell you what, I believe that knocks out Adam LZ of top 32 competition, because I'm looking at Ryan Literal with an 86, and that of Alec Robbins and Rad Dan with an 82. Adam LZ will be watching from the outside, so an 83 or better will get Trenton Beecham in the competition. Right now, we are looking at Ola Jaeger, who is comfortable. Ryan Literal is comfortable right now. Rad Dan, Alec Robbins, they are watching feverishly to see what Trenton Beecham does. An 83 or better will get Beecham in the mix and knocking out either unofficially Alec Robbins or Rad Dan. Brings it around that course. You can see him. Here we go, our final driver. Not so great 8. Who's coming in? Who's coming out? Who's making the top 32? Will be Trent Beecham, Alec Robbins, or Rad Dan. Who's going to be in the mix? And let's take a look at it again from the drone there, Ryan.
Nice line by inside clip 1. Decent line through outside zone number 1 and number 2. Just left them both early. Coming to inside clip number 2. Decent line drawn there. Maybe a point off for being slightly over that white line. But good job through outside zone 3 here. Close to the white line. Gets real close to the white line. Maybe on the white line at the last part of outside zone number 3. So could have been deeper there, but definitely better than what he put together in his previous run. So I think he's going to get a score here that could have some contention to getting him into the show for tomorrow. Sorry, for Saturday.
Right. I know, right? Seems like it's just tomorrow, but the plot thickens. All right, so let's see what we got here. Where does he land? Does he knock out that of either Alec Robbins or Rad Dan? And he does. So Trenton Beecham gets that number 3 spot. So again, it looks like we are seeing that of, was that Ola Jaeger? fans coming out here enjoying a beautiful Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't look at the camera. Don't look at the camera. Look cool. Look cool. You never look at explosions. Heroes never look at explosions. They walk away. Oh, look at this hero. Look at this man. Oh, man. Can't even see him. He's wearing I only see pants and a hat and a head. How we doing? Look at you guys. You're up on the big screen. Wave to the camera. Wave to the camera. Come on. That's right. Say hi. Thanks for joining us out here. That's right. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Come on, send it. Send it, bud. Wave to the camera. That's you. You're up on the big screen. Hey, there we go. Hey, that's you, bud. Thanks for joining us. Casual Thursday, we're about to find out, again, unofficially, who is in our top 32. Frederick Osbo qualifies first on the drop of Controlled Chaos. If you haven't seen it, well, he's controlling chaos here on his #1 qualifying run, Rockstar Energy Drink. Toyota GR Supra, him and Ryan Turk dropping a new series today. Be sure to watch it. Tune in as Frederick Osbo hits that #1 spot. What made this the best run in your eyes, Ryan?
It was really smooth, Jared. He didn't have any real corrections. If you look at the front wheels, they're really settled once he's in a zone. It looked like his car was pretty accurate throughout the zones as well. Great car placement. It's all the hallmarks of a high-scoring run.
Smooth, good, fast, a new track, no data, after practice, pro spec, all these things considered, you got to take into consideration the Papadakis team operating 3 cars. You got Castro, you got Turk, you got Osbo, but notably Osbo and Turk still in the hunt for the championship. So how much information are they sharing? A beautiful backdrop. Thank you so much for joining us here. This is the one, the only Formula Drift Championship. So be sure to tune in tomorrow, 11:45. We got Pro Spec round of 32. This is the Type S Elevated presented by AutoZone. Again, unofficial, talking about some of these drivers, being knocked out, notably Adam LZ. But be sure to tune in again, 4 p.m. tomorrow, Mountain Standard Time, the Pro round of 32. And then we go into our, again, Saturday action. Man, that sun was intense earlier, but now it's cool. I need a sweatshirt now, right? How quickly the sun just changes things. With a higher elevation, the sun is more intense, right?
Sure is, Jared.
All right, so look at the current standings. What are your expectations coming in this round, exiting this round?
Well, it's interesting to see that Matt Field is qualified fairly low, considering he's leading the championship right now. But Frederick Osbo just qualified first with second place, 450 points. So big jump from first to second, but look at third, only 3 points separating second and third place. So I'm not 100% sure where Turk ended up in qualifying. But we'll have to see the ladder once it's built.
I always like to say unofficial, just because tabulating everything, and there's a lot of numbers being thrown around. Fast track. So again, unofficially, here's a look at the bracket. So Frederick Osbo, and you could look at the number 32 qualifier. What's going on there? Alec Robbins barely makes it in. And Ola Yeager, but Freddie Osbo gets that #1 spot. Dylan Hughes, our #2 qualifier. Jonathan Castro, and oh, look at that, Matt Field and Rome Charpentier. That's not a pushover battle for Matt Field, our current leader. And again, that's what I love about the variety of this season.
Yeah, we don't have any more pushover battles anymore.
No,
that's a thing of the past. It has been for quite a few years, as you've said previously, but this is going to be a hard battle for everybody Saturday. It really is.
Yeah, the variety is key. So again, thank you so much for joining us here. This is the final round of the Link Engine Management Pro Spec Championship. 4 rounds. We're going to crown a Pro Spec champion here tomorrow, and then of course we will find out who is winner of round 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. This is the Type S Elevated presented by AutoZone. Again, tune in tomorrow for more Formula Drift action. Okay. Feeling